Go.
Otter Slayers Podcast Episode 3. Lots of gaming, but that's gonna change this next week for me. I'm gonna watch way more anime now. Um, but first the intro. Weeb, how are you, man? What you been playing?
I'm good. I'm not gonna correct you on the name, but that's fine
Yeah,
with
I
me.
screwed up on that. I am aware. Don't worry about it.
So it's Artist Layer episode 1 then. Okay.
No, it's
Um.
episode. Okay, I see. Go ahead.
All right. What I've been playing? I just finished
Once
Final
again,
Fantasy.
are
What?
we don't seem to be live. Oh,
No,
we are. We
we're
are.
live.
Sorry.
We're
For
live.
some reason, it's not showing. We are.
Oh,
We are.
Omar, so used to having technical difficulties, then when the show goes right for the
He doesn't know how
best,
to. He doesn't know
I
how to
know.
act. Something's going right.
like no, something has to be wrong. This is not possible.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. I finished the Final Fantasy VII remake intermission.
Let's
Had that,
go.
yeah, yeah, had that on my list because I wanted to finish that before Rebirth came out. So I'm all caught up with the Seven remake. Um, Played a bit of Cocoon and currently playing Nobody Saves the World, which was on PlayStation
Again.
Plus.
Let's go.
Yeah, I'm
I'm a,
going.
I'm a, I'm a huge fan of this game. Never mind.
No, nobody saves the world. That man was freaking out when he first played that game.
Yeah, I know. It tried to convince me to buy it, and I'm glad I held off since now we don't have to pay for it. But whatever.
Same.
Yeah,
Not worth it.
uh, yeah, it's pretty fun. So yeah, I mean, but yeah, I'm glad I didn't buy it when I had the chance because that sort of happens with every single indie game that I find interesting. Like a couple of months later, it coming to PlayStation Plus. I'm like, fucking hell, man! Like
Oh,
didn't even.
interesting. Uh, you've really become an Xbox dude.
No, I did the opposite because I buy those games and then I don't play them, and then they come to PlayStation Plus, and so I didn't have to buy them.
Uh-huh. No, it it's it's a dilemma. It's a dilemma for sure.
Yeah, I mean, with the way things are going, like with my backlog, like I can probably afford to wait on those games for coming to PlayStation Plus because, man, there's so much that I still have to play and so much that's coming. I like the, this year is insane. This is going to be probably worse than last year.
Yeah,
Number of games that are coming. So yeah, but first world problems and gamer problems, I guess. So, but yeah,
I see. I
that's
see.
it.
Are you planning on playing the DLC for Nobody Saves the World?
I don't know. I have to see how much I like the game when I finish it, and if I ever
Mm-hmm.
want to continue playing.
I see. Okay, Morgan, how are you, lady? What you been playing?
Good. Uh, Basically, I finally, thankfully, completed Octopath 2, Octopath Traveler 2 to be
Congratulations.
precise. Thank you.
Oh,
My game of the year for 2023. Um, I feel a very that like a very big weight has been lifted off my shoulders. Because
You feel
I didn't.
flawless, don't you?
Yeah, I feel good because it's like this was the one game that I really, really wanted to platinum, and I didn't want to play anything else until I platinumed this game. So like I had so many other games on hold because I knew that if I got into something else, especially something like big, like Baldur's Gate 3 or something like that, that I wasn't gonna get like
Mm-hmm.
well, who knows when I was gonna get back to Octopath.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just so happy. Oh my god, Nate, mute. So I was just so happy that I was able to beat it. Great game. If you haven't played it, play it. It's on PS5 and Switch. So definitely one of my top games of 2023. My top game of 2023. But
Nice.
yeah, platinum that. And now I've moved on to the indie title Vimba. It's really good. I'm enjoying it. It really tugs at the heartstrings. Really good game, little short game because I think I'm almost done. Like I'm on chapter 5. I think there's only like 6 chapters in the game.
Damn.
Yeah, it's like a really short, like 2-hour, 1-hour game.
Yeah, I felt like people were starting it and completing it the same day.
Yeah. But yeah, really tugs at the heartstrings about, family and food. So it's a really good short little slice of something. I think it's a nice cleanser from a good palate cleanser from the big game that I just finished. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. And I think I'm gonna platinum that too. That's like an easy plat. So
Nice.
yeah, that's what I've been doing.
Hey Nate, how are you, man? What you been playing?
Yeah, no, I'm good. 2024, finally, we made it.
The year of JRPGs, eh?
Another year of JRPGs is what I call it, because
Okay.
it's just not stopping. It's just overflowing from 2023, and yeah, it is not playing around. So, yeah, God, man, right now, I mean, I'm drowning in them. So right now, I've been playing back to Final Fantasy VII remake, Chained Echoes, Persona 4 Golden, um, and then occasionally I break all that up with Fortnite. That's been like the palate cleanser. Like I gotta play something else.
You on crack? I'm not joking, cause how you gonna balance Chained Echo JRPG with Persona 4,
Man,
another JRPG, and Final Fantasy VII Remake?
it's out of
You're gonna be
control.
juggling in a minute.
Yeah, man, it's out of
Dude,
control. I can't help
I
myself,
know
man.
I
There's so
told
much, bro.
you plan yourself, but damn.
I don't know, man. There's just too much to eat out here, man. I can't stop myself. The buffet just looks so delicious. Um, but yeah, it's just been crazy trying to manage all that, and then honestly trying to plan out what I'm actually going to get day one this year, because
Oh yeah,
that's also a problem. Um, so I did go ahead and pre-order Helldivers 2. So
nice.
that's all pre-ordered, ready to go. I got the deluxe edition because that game looks phenomenal, and I can't wait to play it. I love the perspective shift they did and everything. So that's looking like that's the first purchase at least of
Lost Planet hype.
that game looks incredible.
I
So
feel you. I
yeah.
feel you.
Plus, we rarely get like a 4-player co-op that we all like could really jump into. So
Mhm.
I'm excited for it. I'm pretty sure that the first person to kill me is probably going to be Morgan, because she's gonna do it on purpose.
Wait, is there
There is friendly fire, and no, you cannot
oh,
turn it
there
off.
is? Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's part of the funny thing about playing that game. Like, you can't
That
turn
can be
off friendly
fun.
fire. So like if you call in like a mech or something, and I happen to be standing there, that like and your mech lands, it'll kill me. Like stuff like that. It's pretty funny.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, no. Yeah, man. 2024 is just starting off solid. I mean, as far as the games we got coming up and everything, and what I've been playing, like the backlog is still stacked as per usual. I guess the only non-fun thing I did in 2024 so far is I bought tires. So yeah, that wasn't fun. Tires are expensive, more than they should be. But yeah, that's it.
I see, I see.
Nelson,
Nelson, semi co-host, semi regular. How are you, man? What you been playing?
I've been playing Mario RPG. I'm in Bowser's Castle. I gotta finish that this week, and hopefully I haven't been feeling the best. But Resident Evil 5 co-op with my buddy Will on the weekend.
a RE5
Gran
baby.
Turismo.
Let's see, some VR games too. I got Ghostbusters. I've been playing a couple different things in VR, but I don't play that unless it's the weekend because I don't have that much time during the week. It's mostly work, so.
Got you. As for me, I did quite a bit. So, I guess 2023 ending was the year of cleanup for me. So I start with uh, Eterna Noctis. It's a roguelite. No, sorry, my bad. Metrovania, and it also got some of the most difficult platforming I have ever done in gaming history. So good luck on that. But so rewarding. Um, genuinely had a blast with it. I can't wait for part two. Other than that, I finished a game called Dodgeball Academia. Another game that I played before and I dropped for some reason. Pretty sure PlayStation 5 Party dropped and I had to play that one. Another indie game that it could, I think it needs improvement in certain areas where if you, instead of allowing your character to be playable every single time, diverse it. Make it so that if your character is injured, stay injured. This way gives you the ability to use other players. Otherwise, you're gonna use your main character and not even switch to a different character and play through it. Another game I finished is called Rive. This is a small indie game about a small tank with bullet hell element into it. It's super quick, like 2, 3, maximum 4 hours. I had a blast with it, and the last game that I finished called uh, Greek Memories of Azure. This one I had so much fun with it. Mostly because you play as three different people and each every single one of them played differently and you get to control them at the same time. What I mean by that, there is a button you press on it, they mimic your actions. If you jump, they jump. If you hit, they hit. But if you want to go solo, you press another button and you can go solo. And story is super basic, like end of the world, you need to gather keys to beat the big bad. Nothing to write home about. But it's the gameplay that's so good. And I said it before, if your gameplay is that good, I'm not gonna care about the story, but I'm gonna play it for the gameplay. Other than that, I went on a few indie trips. Uh, um, I'm gonna actually make it a topic because I have a genuine question. Game I played, demo I just played called a Grimoire. Once more from I think Vanillaware. And
Grimoire. You mean.
sorry,
Grimoire.
thank you, Grim Grimoire. Um, I I enjoyed what I played so far. I like the concept. I'm interested in the story, the ability to almost like time travel in a way. So I'm looking to see where that goes. And another game is actually from the Capcom uh, event where they announced that this game is gonna be released uh, right now, and this is a remake, I think, of a game called Ghost Trick Phantom Detective. I played the demo and I had so much fun with it. Basically, you get to play as as a person that's already dead, and you need to use your soul to try to prevent a death from happening. It's very creative, and And yeah, the last one is another. All of them, most of them are now indies, and I see what I get from when I can get because this year is gonna be stacked. But yeah, next on my list might be Dot Hack GU, finishing that. But that's about it. Um, I highly recommend to look up on PlayStation demo section. Lots and lots of great games to try out. And if you're interested, hey, get them. Let's jump to the first topic, which is apparently
So
um.
we can just do it for Morgan at least, because that's fine. Because
What do you mean?
she wasn't here when we did the games we were most looking forward to.
Oh, I don't know what to doing it like that. Like she can start. I have no issue. So last year ended
Ex-
for
eh,
Morgan.
Excuse
Oh
me,
yeah, by the
sir.
way.
I wasn't there either.
Oh
Thanks,
yeah.
Nate. Thanks for
Oh yeah,
thinking
you
about
were
me.
that either. So
Well, I said we could start with Morgan. See,
oh yeah, we can start with Morgan.
I didn't
Uh,
forget you, Weeb.
I
Yeah.
actually wanted. I actually have one or two new topics that I remember, but they're very small. Uh, So I'm gonna go through them very quick. The first one is about Tekken 8. So apparently the demo for Tekken 8 was so good, it improved the pre-orders numbers. Is that a sign that more developers should implement demo or not per se? Because for token demo also exists.
Yeah. If you're not forspoken, then sure.
I mean, I think it really depends on how you like how you display your demo or what part of the game you're showing. I think it is important to I think it's just as important as what your demo contains and then as to whether or not you should have one or not. Like with Forspoken, they kind of just dropped you in there. Like I'm guessing when she was like at full max power with all her abilities and
Not
all
per
that,
se,
and it,
no, no. She was still new to different abilities. She
she
couldn't
had a
max
good
everything.
amount of abilities, Omar,
Yeah,
in the demo.
yeah, you had, yeah, you had two elements.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like she had like a bunch, like so much so that you there was different, like it was like the L1 or whatever for one side of her abilities and then R1 for the other. Like it was a lot. Like it was kind of um it was
Yeah,
a
it
little
was
too
overwhelming.
much. It was
Yeah.
very overwhelming. It was way too much. And I was just like, it kind of threw me off because I was like, I mean, this is cool, but I'm trying to sit here and learn how to do all this stuff at the same time of trying to learn the game. And I think that's kind of um the part where they messed up. Like for example, with Final Fantasy 16 demo, right? We started off at the beginning, we got a little background story. Well, the beginning with where he was just, you know, like his base level. And then we got another slice where he had like, a lot of the uh his abilities, and then we
Mm-hmm.
got to play it that way. And I think that was a much better demo put together than what Forspoken was, where they just kind of throw you in there like, okay, here's what she got, like play it. Like
I
I
think
think Final Fantasy 16 did a way better job at their demo, and that made me buy that versus I didn't really care to touch Forspoken.
with what's so different about 16 demo is they actually changed something from the main game. What which would mean actually way more work for developers. So they actually went out of their way to create something different just for the sake of a demo. I do agree that putting you in um, two-thirds of a game is almost iffy but they did it to show you that this is not a one-time game where you get to only play with this. Like, if I remember correctly, it's 8 or 9 did that as well. Like, they drop you middle of the mission, and you got almost all of your cast members, and they're doing all their abilities and so on, most of their abilities. So it's just for some reason for Forspoken. Um, wait, wait, hold up. Hero Down Under. How am I?
Oh
How am I
God, here
wrong?
you about to get this man started.
No,
Jesus.
how am I wrong? Final Fantasy demo gave you the ability to use to use Garuda, while Garuda was never in that part of the game yet.
No, no, it's not that they changed things, but they gave you all those abilities that you
Yeah.
didn't have at that point in the game. So it
Yeah,
was still
but that's what I'm trying to say. That's still some work that need to be done.
No,
yeah,
no.
but it
I don't think yeah.
it's not yeah, it's not that hard. It's just saying okay, you
I'm not
now
a developer,
tho-
so I
tho-
can't comment on that.
yeah, but those abilities were in the game. They just gave you those abilities
Yeah.
earlier
I don't
than you should have.
yeah, I agree with you. I don't think it was that I think they just changed the environment for which he had all those power. They just put it in earlier in the game. It wasn't like this never existed at all. Like he had all those powers eventually. They just gave you the ability to have it at an earlier slice just to kind of give you an idea of what he would look like when he had all of his abilities. And then
Yeah.
of course, so basically not to ruin the game for it because they didn't want to give it to you at when you actually got all those gifts because then you'd be a spoiler, right?
Yeah, they
If they
often
put
do
it at the
change it.
level of when you had all those abilities, that'd be a major spoiler. So of course they're gonna give it to you at an earlier arena where you can fight like a quote unquote boss and
Mhm.
still, have all those abilities. So that's why they did it that way.
They do that a lot for JRPG type demos too, because the other one that you wanted to play was the Valkyrie or whatever one or whatever
Valkyrie
that I
Elysium.
hated. Yeah, that one. So they changed up a bunch of stuff in like the location where she learned certain skills and stuff for the demo, and then when you played the
Mhm.
demo, when you played the full game, it was a little different. So yeah, they just
Mhm.
frequently do that. That's just like a popular thing, specifically for JRPGs, since they have sometimes locations will give things away, so they want to keep you confined in spaces where they feel like they can hide as much as possible while letting you get a taste of the game. So yeah, so I
Yeah.
definitely get that.
Real talk, I am a fan of that because if you can do that and keep the game fresh for everyone, great. I just don't want. So here's the thing. I have always been on the side of more demos, more demos, more demos, more demos, more demos. Um, the counter argument have always been that's too much work for the developers. So my argument have always been, how about then just give it a slice from the main game? You don't need to change anything about it.
Well, yeah, I mean
But
that's
with
the big thing that I was saying, that at least JRPGs in particular need to do, because not only is it respecting your time, but when you earn something and you're able to take that progress over as well as getting something else for playing the demo, I like that. I prefer that over any other type of
okay,
demo.
so you want a demo that you can carry on.
Yeah, I love those.
You
Square
want
is
a
famous for
trial.
those. No,
You
Square,
want a
but no,
Yeah.
but no,
trial.
no, no, but
That's what I got
Square,
with
Square's famous for that.
Octopath. Yeah, Square's famous for that because that's what I had for Octopath Traveler too.
Yeah, and you
I
loved
tried
it.
it out, and
I'm
tried it
pretty
out with
sure
my
Live a
character I
Life have that
chose
or no.
was Oswald, and then I carried it over to the main game when
Hmm.
when I played it. So I think that's great. I think Square does that like the best.
What about Live a Life? Does it have it as well?
Oh,
I
I don't know.
didn't.
I didn't play.
Yeah, we didn't. Demo, we just bought it outright. So
Okay.
I think
Um,
I think it had, but I'm not sure.
Nelson, what's your thought?
Yeah, I prefer to bring my progress with me too. It's really disheartening when you play a game for like 2 or 3 hours in a demo, especially in an open world thing, and you're not carrying anything over, and you got to start with less when you get the game.
Mm-hmm.
When I started Forspoken, and I mean, I still only am just shooting rocks, and I'm like 8 hours in the game. I'm like, I don't know if I can do this no more. Like I already spent like 6 hours in the demo, then I got to start over the game, and I got nothing, and it just got boring.
I feel you. I got addicted to Forspoken. I put like hours, 8 hours or 5 hours or something. Like I was that addicted in the game.
Well, you like the
Um,
complexity of the combos.
I like the concept all by all. I love magic. I love the unique ability that you get to use, and I love how you get to respec whenever you want. Some core abilities you gotta keep, but other than that, it's a playground, and the enemies are the gameplay. Enjoy. Um. Okay. So
I
what?
I I think the question here is it depends, like Morgan said, like a depends on how well you do your demo. Like with Forspoken, it didn't do the game any favors, while Final Fantasy did. And it depends on the game. Like if it's a new IP, for example, yeah, you probably need a demo more than if you're making a sequel. Like no, like if you're making a new Call of Duty game, like you don't need to make a demo for Call of Duty because you know people will buy that because they will expect the same thing they have been getting for decades now. So that's not necessary for those kind of games. And also, yeah, it kind of also depends on the reputation of the developer. Like From Software, for example, doesn't need to release a demo for their games because they know their audience are going to buy those games, right? And uh, that kind of depends also what kind of game it is. So if it's if you see people are on the fence, or if it's difficult to explain, then yeah, demo would do you a favor, because if you can't really see from the trailers what kind of game it is, then you kind of have to try it. But there's also games where it doesn't do any favor. Like if the game is not that good, then you probably shouldn't make a demo. I think like Evil West, for example. Uh, I play. Wasn't a demo, but I played that on a games con. But yeah, basically the gameplay was boring. But I was more excited for that game when I saw the trailers than when I actually got my hands on it and played it. So sure, if a game is bad, it's bad. From a consumer perspective, yes, it's good that you can play it before you actually decide to buy it. But from a developer perspective, if your game is if you're not sure about your game, so if you're sure it's going to be good and you see people are on the fence, yeah, then release a demo. But if you're not sure your game is going to be any good and you see hype, then you probably shouldn't release a demo, because when people play the game, they will probably be disappointed.
Okay. Shout out to Josh Aries. He said he just got the plat in Forspoken. Congratulations. He said, I don't recommend it. It's a grind. I'm gonna see. I got Forspoken and I got the DLC. I will see what I'm gonna do. Um,
I plan to go
when I,
back, but it's not a priority for me.
I think Forspoken demo was from the start a failure because you couldn't carry over. If it had two sections, I would have. We might have seen the sales on the level of a 16. Could be, but
Like
the
I
like
demo
it.
don't think
for
so.
the
Nah,
demo for Forspoken genuinely soured a lot of people. Like so many people I've seen soured on it,
yeah,
and
but it doesn't fundamentally change the game. I think it would have. Uh, like thing is, like the fact that it's so overwhelming, that didn't do any favor. So its sales might have been better if it didn't release the game, or at least the demo before the game. But I don't think the game would have done Final Fantasy numbers, if they didn't release a demo, because in the end, the game would come out, it would have gotten the same review scores, right? So it wasn't received very well, so that would have scared people away from buying the game, all right, and it would be word of mouth and etc. So it's not like that's going to change anything fundamentally on the game's performance. It was doomed to fail.
You
in the
might have
end
got more
because-
pre-orders. That's about it. I think.
Yeah. But it would be marginal. Like it wouldn't like suddenly do gangbusters because it didn't release a demo.
Mm-hmm. Um, But focus conversation is a whole different topic all by all. Because the game, how it was became a meme, and now they're talking about how Forspoken is good. We're gonna move on from it. Otherwise,
Yeah, but
way too much.
that's a kind of a problem. That's the same, for example, with The Last of Us Part Two when that was leaked, right? It wasn't a demo, but it was leaked, and people ran with it, and I think that hurt the game in the end, even though it was like
Yeah,
game of the year. Yes, but in the same way, like if you have a demo and it is not a good representation of the game, or you're taking like a vertical slice, or like a late game or mid game section where your gameplay is not straightforward, that people can just pick it up, and it's a one button press game, and it's no different from any other action RPG. If it requires so let's say if you need some tutorials for you to figure out how this works, then yeah, it's not a great idea to just give you all that stuff without actually explaining it and gradually ease you into that, because that will scare people off. That they will be so overwhelmed by it that they think it's not a good game. And I mean, in the end, it probably wasn't a extremely good game. Like it had its issues, but it got more flack than it probably deserved if they hadn't released that demo, or at least from the people who play. Like for me, it completely turned me off on the game because I didn't like the demo, so I had no incentive to buy the game because me it was like, while I was kind of excited for it when they first announced it and revealed the trailers and stuff, but in the end, it's hard what you feel about, right? When you play it and it doesn't click, then yeah, that's then for me. I'm not gonna waste time on this because I have so much else to play. Like I'm not, desperate to play a game just for the sake of it. I want to know that it values my time, right? It's not the money issue. It's a time issue. Like my backlog is already killing me, and
Yeah, if you
there's
haven't
so
watched
many.
Porter Rock's new video, I'd watch two video ago. He said that about Game Pass, and I couldn't agree more. It was like the value's not in the money. I have no problem paying the money. What's more valuable is time,
Mhm.
because my time is more valuable than money, because I can always make more money. I can't make more time.
interesting. Okay, fair
I can
point.
always make more money.
Yeah.
So
I
that
can't make more time.
game cutting over would have been the better option. So then, by that definition, the game should have just have dropped you from the beginning of the game and called it a day
Yeah,
with
they would have
Forspoken.
if they had like done what Final Fantasy had done, right? Like you have two sections where you have one start of the game that carries over, and then a section where you sort of like get all the powers that you shouldn't have at that point in the game, and sort of free roam. It would have done the game a lot. The game would have done, or at least it would have done the game more favors, right? I think like a Dragon, Infant Wealth. There's a demo that you can play when you bought the man who erased his name. Like if you finish the game, you unlock the demo, and it also has two sections. Like there's a story section that's, I don't think it's the beginning of the game, but it's like early in the game. And there's also a sort of free roam section where you can just have a full party. You have a few skills already unlocked, and basically there's not much of a story to explore, but more you can just do mini games and some side quests, and just explore the area, and that gives you a good impression of both of the narrative of the game, but also of how, what you can do in the game, right? How it is to just run around and do stuff. And I mean, I absolutely loved it. I mean, they did need to sell me on it anyway because I would have bought day one, but what I've seen, like, this game is going to be amazing. I mean, this game is for me that I have no doubt it's going to be my game of the year, and it's coming out this month.
I see. Um. So, on the other topic, which is a very because happened to me, but because so I played Sable, the PlayStation Plus game that was given via PlayStation Plus. Look, bug glitches I can get behind, but what I can't get behind is when you have a game, you have a core gameplay mechanic. Basically, you have a bike or a hover bike. Let's call it a hover bike. You put you're supposed to press the triangle button, and it's supposed to show up in your face and come to you. Kind of like Ghost of Tsushima with the horse, or Red Dead Redemption with the horse, or any horse in Assassin's Creed. For some reason, when I first got the quest for this game, my my hoverboard didn't even show up on the map. I literally went and did the side quest while on my feet, even though I was supposed to have a hover bike, and they counted it as complete. So that's first issue. Second issue, I had to learn that you need to fast travel to your current location, then your bike is gonna show up. I'm like, okay, I will do that. I did that. I thought that's gonna be the end of it. Nope. This is a constant issue. I question where is, and this is not a PlayStation, this is an Xbox. I don't know about Steam. Where is quality control? How can developers release games to such degree like that when your core element is non-existent? And it's not like that I'm the only one that first discovered this issue. This bug or glitch have been known for 2 years already. Anait, what's up? It does. Uh, how can developers keep getting away with this? I know you never heard of the game before and played it, but yeah.
I have.
Uh,
It's one of those games I actually bought, and now it's on PlayStation Plus. This is why I said I'm gonna hold off on buying indie games on sale because I know they're gonna come to PlayStation Plus eventually.
okay. So you played them or not yet?
I've played a bit of it. I didn't hate it. Like I didn't encounter the problems that you mentioned.
Wait. So when you press the triangle button, the bike come to you?
I don't remember. I mean, it's been a while.
Okay. So this irked me because I seen other having the same issue, and that was from 2 years ago. That's where I'm like, come on, you're supposed to fix this. And the other issue is apparently FPS drop is a feature in the game.
A feature?
That game terrible, terrible, terrible FPS. I don't have an FPS counter, but it's dipping below the 30.
I mean, you can tell once it dips below 30. I mean, it's going to look really sluggish in comparison. So,
It's
yeah.
unplayable. I kind of knocked it dip below 30 at some point in a hectic boss fight, but it was one boss fight. That's it. But with this game, your entire game is like this. And hey, what's going on with quality control? Is this why we keep constantly see developers closing doors?
I mean, it depends on who you're talking about. I mean, and it depends on what you're playing. Like you said, like I haven't played it, but like the quality of what you're playing and the quality and quantity of what you're playing is going to dictate, the kind of stuff you're going to run into and also when you play it. Like for instance, I was having a conversation with Morgan before we got on the show about them fixing a frame rate issue that occurs later in Baldur's Gate 3. Baldur's Gate 3 is highly rated and an amazing game, but there's just certain things they just needed more time to work things out on and to get things going. But it doesn't make the game unplayable. I mean, I know several people who have completed it on the PS5 version, no problem. So, I mean, I think it just really depends on per developer. I mean, you're talking about drastically different, strategies for actual development, different engines, all kinds of stuff during development, management. Like, you just never know what's really happening. I mean, ultimately, right now, what you're seeing with a lot of developers closing doors, though, not particularly that, but just there's a lot of games that come out per month that a lot of people forget about that almost none of us play. As like a lot of those games just are hitting the ground where they just really can't survive. So it's like if you're not releasing and you're not at least one of the more heavily anticipated titles, I mean, you're fighting an uphill battle already for notoriety, getting people to play you, and then if you're running into issues like you said, like you talked about, and that becomes more widespread, then people are going to cast you in that lack of quality area already. So it's like that uphill battle you were fighting is just going to get worse. So yeah, I mean, I think it's a case by case basis, because obviously we've all played plenty of games where we had no issues. I know, again, I say this, I'm usually playing the game at the same time Morgan is, but me, Morgan, Fox, and Kay all didn't really have any trouble at all in Horizon, for example. Like no issues whatsoever. I had one thing where like my game did like a weird slowdown thing, and I literally saved at a campfire that was near me, reloaded it, and it never happened again. Like that's the most issues I ever had with that game. So yeah, I mean, quality is just something that's going to vary across the board. I mean, you're talking about it, to put it into perspective though, I do understand to a degree running into certain things. I mean, programming certain things at the level you're at, depending on the amount of people they have programming, working on animations, whatever, what have you. We're not really sure what went on in development, because building a game is ultimately still a very, very complex process, and something that just you never know. You never know where it went wrong. But as long as we know, I mean, no one's going into the studio to create a game to create a bad game or a glitch like that. So I think as the intention is in the right place and they fix it, then yeah, I mean, that's all that we could really hope for as a consumer.
I see. Nelson, have you ever experienced where a game, a key core component in a game is gone, is non-existent?
Probably, but I don't keep tabs. I mean, there's something in every game, pretty much, even old ones that you go back and play. It's like, why is this like this? Why doesn't, why didn't they do this different? Why doesn't this work right or whatever? But
Yeah.
I don't know the process that well, to be honest. I know a lot goes into it. Some people just don't have the resources or the money to fix it afterwards either, probably.
That as well.
Mm-hmm. I see. Morgan, what about you?
Oh yeah, and the game was called Days Gone, which is why we're not getting a sequel to it.
They fixed that.
Fair, that's fair.
They had a massive patch like 2 months
Okay.
after. I remember having to
See,
download that
first-
for like 2 hours afterwards.
The first time I played it was on PS5 when I got it day one because it was part of the PS
What?
Plus collection.
You
Absolutely.
played it on PS5 and you got this?
Absolutely.
Go tell, go tell.
Yeah, that's wild.
Like I had a feeling like it's just something about that game I was just not feeling, so I didn't buy it day one. And my feelings were correct because when I played it on PS Plus collection, it was still glitched. It still had problems, and I still fell through the world in one level where I walked in a puddle, and the puddle was apparently a portal to the nether realm because I fell through it
Oh, you
and
had
fell
that glitch happen?
into the sky. And I just watched. I was like, I wonder how far he's gonna fall. He just kept falling. Like it was just an infinite universe within that puddle apparently.
Oh,
And it was
man.
just FPS dips everywhere. Like that game was a mess. Okay, beautiful world, but just the game structure itself was a mess. All right, and that's why we're not getting a sequel, and that's why we're getting a new IP. So Sony knows
Dude.
it's like, yeah, you mess up, exactly. That's it. They pull the plug. Like
Yeah,
we ain't doing another one.
you're right.
It is what it is.
I see. Um, anyone else have? I haven't asked. Weep, what about you?
Think talked about it, no?
No. I said, have you ever played a game that didn't have a core mechanic?
Oh, what do you mean with a core mechanic?
Oh, like for example, what I said with Sable. You press the button and it wouldn't come, and that's supposed to be implemented in the game. Like, I can't play the game now because of that. I
Yeah,
need to
so
wait a lot of time to waste time.
yeah, okay, so you mean that where something is bugged, right? So gameplay feature is bugged.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah, sure. I mean, but not really consistently, I guess. I mean, there have been games where sometimes I had it with Immortal of Avian. There was one bug that I encountered at some point where, because you have to hold a button for every interaction. So if you want to open the chest or open the door, and at some point I could not no longer hold the button, so I had to restart the game and or at least quit the game and reload, and then it was fine. Um, but I don't think I can't really recall a game where let's say core feature was consistently broken. Sure, there's ample of games that have that do not implement certain uh, standards, right? That should be in there that other games of the same genre are already doing. And they're not doing, basic things like fast travel uh, like like I said with holding buttons. Like I find it incredibly annoying, and games have gameplay mechanics where you have to hold a button to do something. Like unless the game has certain moves that it needs to map it towards different button interactions. I don't see any reason to do that. So if you're gonna do that, at the very least, give me the option to customize that. That's probably one of my pet peeves. I want games to give me the option to customize my controls as much. I mean, I have a dual sense, so I can do it anyway. But now, from a software perspective, I would love all games to do that, so that you don't aren't forced to use stupid button inputs that make no sense, or at least are annoying.
Gotcha. With that being said, let's jump to the first topic, which is going to be again for Morgan. Um, Last year ended. We already know what your go-to is. What other game impressed you last year, and which five game are you looking forward to this year?
He said what games impressed me last year?
Yeah. So,
Shit.
which
I have a
game
plethora of
impressed you
games that
last
impressed
year,
me.
and which five games are you looking forward to this year? Because we
I
already know your
mean,
go-to, which is Octopath Traveler 2.
I mean, shit. Like most of the
Dredge.
AAA games I played impressed me. Yeah, Dredge. There was Spider-Man 2, of course. Jedi Survivor, Alan Wake 2, Hogwarts Legacy. Trying to think, there was so many games last year. It's so hard to keep up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There
Also,
was like,
that they
I
blend
mean,
in
it's
from
like,
what the year prior.
yeah, it's like it's a year where it was just nothing really but bangers. So I
Mhm.
honestly, there wasn't really anything that disappointed me. So it's kind of, I'll say that much. There wasn't really anything I played that disappointed me.
What Morgan means is she
Um,
has impeccable taste.
yeah, okay, whatever. But as far as next year, oh my gosh, they all, we see all these games have decided to
Oh yeah, next year
release
is
within the first,
First
yeah,
90 days or something like that, 120
like
days. It's like, yo, spread this shit
exactly
out.
the
Especially
first three
Rise of
months.
Ronin. Agbon, when do you got a shift to the left or something.
Exactly. Something's gonna have to give. Like I'm hoping, I'm really hoping that some games decide to move because, quite honestly, like not for me personally, because I still pick up the games I want regardless of whether they move or not. But I just want games to do well, and in order, because some people don't have the ability to get everything, and they have to make a choice, and they'll put stuff off or they just won't play something at all. So for the health of the games, I would like for them to spread out a little bit.
Both games I'm looking forward to playing co-op this year are landing within a week of each other. Helldivers 2 and Grand Blue Fantasy Relink. It's like that's gonna be my
And that's the crazy thing.
weekend buddy game. You know what I mean? It's like y'all gonna have to take a pink slip on weekends. You know what I mean, or
Like,
something.
don't
'Cause
drop 2 co-op games at the same time. That mess is crazy. But yeah, it's like Helldivers 2. I want to play Final Fantasy, Part 2, 7 Part 2. I want to play Rise of the Ronin. I want to play Stellar Blade, but that doesn't really have a date yet. It's probably later
You're lucky
in the year.
you don't have the issue with choosing between Rise of the Ronin and Dragon Dogma 2. at
Why
the
would you
same
assume
day.
that I wouldn't have an issue with that, sir? Why are you making assumptions?
Wait, I thought you didn't play Dragon Dogma 1.
Does it require that I play Dragon Dogs 1 to play 2?
Are you jumping blind into? Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
I had no
they're
idea
gonna be
I was
vastly
interested
different. I
in
mean, they're
2.
2 generations apart, so it's not like
Yeah,
Yeah.
Omar. Yeah, man,
I
trying
want to
tell
go
me
back
what
and play
I'm gonna
1
play.
too, but I mean,
I would
They're
literally
generations
beg you to
apart.
play
It's gonna be a
1.
Bro,
Big
one,
difference.
bro, one is
Fantastic.
dated like pretty bad.
Ain't nobody, ain't nobody
Nah.
going back all the way back to play 1. I'm sorry, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, okay.
But
Yeah, me too.
You're talking about a whole different company that made that too. It was Capcom,
Oh,
but
yeah.
Capcom come a long way, and in the whatever it's
see,
been,
do it
15
then,
years.
then.
It probably won't be day 1 that I
Yeah.
play it, but I'll definitely pick it up because I'm definitely playing Rise of Ronin first. That's getting
Okay,
getting priority.
so you are choosing Rise of the Ronin over Dragon Dogma 2 then?
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, I guess technically. I mean, I'm still getting it,
Huh.
but yeah. But I'm trying to think what else is coming out.
A Eden Chronicles and the 100 Heroes.
Metaphor.
Oh yeah, Metaphor. Like it's
Persona
like
3 Reload.
I don't
I
think
know
there's
it's-
any game that I saw that's coming out that I am not getting. Like that's the problem. Everything
That's
that
the
has like
problem.
a release date, every single game that has a release date right now, almost, is something I want. So I'm sitting here like calculating.
I'm starting to pre-order now because I'm trying to do like one a check until they come out. Otherwise, it's going to be like a $300 bill in one day. You know what I mean? So,
Yep.
Yeah,
Exactly.
you
And of course, I'm
can
playing
get-
the Last of Us Remaster Part 2. I'm definitely replaying that again, and I want to play that roguelike mode. So that's another one, but that's like thankfully like in January or like next week, I think, the 19th or whatever. But yeah, like this year is already crazy. I mean, they tell us we ain't got no games, but that's not what my PlayStation is saying. But
that's not what my wallet's saying either. I'm trying to spread out
my wallet
purchases
looking
so I
like
don't
Morgan
have 4 games in a week or
Christmas
something like
just
that. I gotta
passed,
get.
girl. Like,
you can definitely hit the 1,000K dollar just from this year.
just from these first couple months, I don't like to think about it. I like to think like I'm making separate purchases that aren't all together. I like to spread it out in my mind. Like, no, these are just a couple $70. Like, I'm not spending a total of 1,000. No, it's fine.
And, at the end of the year, you might have.
Omar, okay, relax.
Easily.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
Don't
But
even
yeah.
ask me what I spent in 2023.
I don't even want to think about that.
I calculated it about
Don't tell
10
me.
months in. Ooh,
Don't.
Lord.
I love how we get we
Yeah.
buy we don't want
Bruh,
to.
it was scary.
I'm in denial right now, so can you just quiet?
Well, if you got VR you on top of it, because there's a game launching like every goddamn week on VR. It's like, bro, I can't buy them all.
Right.
I'm so glad I went into VR.
Oh man. And then of course I might be adding Xbox to the portfolio if that Hellblade 2 makes it out in 2024.
I love that if.
I mean, I'm
That's
not saying it's
appropriate.
not. I'm just
That's
saying, you never
appropriate.
know. Games get delayed.
That's what I'm
so,
saying. No, that's appropriate.
That's a highly edited trailer. Like they cut out with the best they had, and who knows what the rest is.
I just want to see the gameplay. Like I just want to see like a state of
Cool.
play type shit where they just like play, just show a gameplay.
They never do
segment.
that though. They never do that. I don't know if you
that's
ever
all
noticed
I
that, but
need. Like that
all
in
their
the
trailers,
game.
nervous about their games. It's like it's a jump trailer. Like you see combat for 3 seconds, boom, off. You know what I mean? It's
you
like
know, we
don't want you to see this
Escort
shit.
once, and I was like, okay,
Yep.
it looks the
That's
same.
how all their
No,
trailers are. And then
Um,
find out all the problems, and it's like, well, fuck. I wish I'd have known this from. Well, same thing with Forza Motorsport. They showed all this track, cars going around like that. They didn't show the game.
Oh, they showed that
That
ray
shit
tracing
don't
off
look nothing like that.
and that shit was not in the game.
Halo, you seen that? The guys are jumping around, like cutscene type things or whatever. You didn't see no shooting nobody. Then that shit came out and it looked like my kids finger painted the trees in the background.
Yeah, not the
is it
Craig.
just
Man,
me,
Craig was part of it. Yo, leave him alone.
Is
he
it
was
just
canon.
me, or is Nelson sometimes cutting off?
Yeah, it's cutting out sometimes.
Outside, so okay.
Yeah. That's fine.
Very quick. Josh said, I don't think Hellblade is coming out this year. They were doing mock-up 6 months ago. They put that date, so if they're delaying it, hey.
Yeah, that never
I don't
happened
mind.
before with Xbox.
Listen,
It's gonna be a shitstorm.
this
for
is how I
them.
feel about it. Well, because
Yeah.
I'm not a prominent Xbox player, so at the end of the day, I don't, it is what it is.
Mhm.
But
Lady, you're a bot and also you're an ambassador. Continue.
oh man, listen, I'm for the games, for the what's best for the Xbox community. All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Listen,
So,
I'm
am I
all
going
for
to
a
play
delay.
Tekken?
I have
That's for
always
Xbox?
been my position when it comes to any games. This is PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, whatever. I'm all for delays. Okay, it's just the longer you delay it, the higher my expectations are going to be. Okay, so if they delay it another year, that shit better be like it better exceed my crazy ass expectations for Hellblade 2.
Hold
right.
on. No. With Xbox, the more delayed, the lower my expectations
Yo.
are.
Yeah.
No shit, all the games that they delay end up coming well, they all come out fucked up, really.
The chart goes the opposite way for me.
Yeah, that is
I
kind of
mean,
wild.
remember Crackdown. Remember
Yo,
Crackdown.
man,
Crackdown,
bro,
Lord.
that was a fluke. Don't use Crackdown. That's not that we don't count that. We don't talk about Crackdown.
No.
Hey, Redfall was delayed. That came out great.
Yep.
Yo,
Yep.
shut up, y'all.
Same here.
Shut up.
I'm just
Oh,
saying.
man.
I thought Hellblade 2 was coming out in 2021, so.
I mean, the way they were advertising it, and like that was like the first game that they showed off with the Series X. When they revealed the Series
Here we
X,
are, 4 years later.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, I
what,
thought it was
2,
going to
3
be
years ago?
a launch. Yeah, exactly. I thought it was.
I thought it was going to be early 2021, and here we are 4 years later.
Yep,
They
I thought it was going to be a
literally
launch
kicked off-
game, but apparently not.
They literally kicked off next gen, and they didn't even deliver a next gen game. Let that sink in.
I will okay, we ragging on it, but I will say though, from what they've shown, if it ends up looking like that game looks magnificent. It looks great as visually goes. It's looking like it's taking it to the next level. Like they're trying to be up there, with Naughty Dog with the visuals, but we'll see how it all comes together at the end. You know what I'm saying?
Visual, it's already looking good. Like we're not gonna front on that. However, it's a gameplay that I'm iffy about.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. When it all comes together, I'm gonna grade it as a whole. Like, it's really easy, as we've seen. I'm not gonna say easy because that kind of belittles what developers do. But I would say it's a lot less difficult to get your graphics to look a certain way when the gameplay is kind of like on the rails, as we've seen from games like Rise of Rome and Order 1886.
Yeah, I was about
like
to
when
say
you
that
get
game.
games like
Yeah.
that, like when you have games that are, really, corridor games, really tightly packed, like they're controlling basically 99% of what you're doing, and the gameplay isn't, out there and varied. It's like it's really on the rails. And it's really easy to push the game to be like crazy visuals.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like kind of looking at Hellblade 2 with the side eye, because it looks freaking fantastic. It looks like the Resident Evil CGI movies, that they make, but the gameplay is in question. And I'm just like, it looks a lot like Hellblade 1's gameplay, where it's just kind of on the rails, like you're in this like little circle that they kind of, cut you off of, and you're just kind of swing. They then parry and swing and block and swing, and I'm just like, it's looking a lot like that. But I was hoping, because that's what the developers stated, they were, hiring combat designers and stuff to kind of make the
Really
combat
step it
in
up.
Hellblade 2 a lot more intricate. So I was like, okay, maybe we're gonna have a lot more in this sequel, but it's looking a lot like one. But again, we haven't seen the full gameplay, so I'm gonna hold off judgment. But from what we've seen, it's looking very similar.
I'm super excited to see what they're gonna improve upon, because I'm one of the biggest hater for one, and I've always called it out on having what I call the mobile gameplay.
I can't with you. I mean, I didn't like the first one either, but I can get excited for a sequel if I didn't like the first game.
No, I'm excited to see what they're gonna do improve gameplay wise, cause they promised the moon. So show me the moon.
I think the bot's been promising the move. The moon. I don't think they said shit.
No.
I don't think they said a goddamn thing.
I'm not
They just said they were making a sequel.
Yeah, but
I'm
they
not
put the
focusing-
Hellblade 2 on their back now though. That's the next Jesus that's coming
That's
to save them.
that's all it is. It's the next game is the next thing, you know. But
This is our new
hey,
savior.
that's not the devs' fault out there. This is the next coming of Christ. We were making a sequel. I don't know what the fuck these motherfuckers are saying. You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
not focusing on the bots though. I'm focusing on what Morgan said.
Oh
Morgan
man,
is the
he called
one.
me a bot.
Okay, well, don't put that behind the studio that all of a sudden this is going to be coming to Christ. Yo, we just said we were making a sequel.
No,
We
no,
didn't
no,
say
no.
we were coming.
No, he's
Let
talking
me
about the
explain.
combat thing that they stated, where they
Yeah,
said they were hiring
precisely.
a combat director
Yeah,
and all this other
precisely.
shit
Thank
to like
you.
really step it up combat wise. So they did actually say that. The studio said that themselves.
Yeah. Thank
And
you.
yeah, I just need to see it. That's what I'm saying. That's why I want like a state of play-ish, and hopefully whatever. If they keep saying they're gonna have this little, they had their little direct or whatever the hell they called it in January last year or February, whenever it was. They said I guess they're gonna have another one that's gonna be like a yearly thing. Hopefully in this one they do a breakdown, because they did a good job with the one last year where their pacing is getting a lot better with their shows, where they're actually just talking about the game and then moving on. So I'll give Xbox kudos for that. But
Yeah, normally
hopefully,
they just have fucking interviews for like 2 hours. It's like I don't
care
give a
about
fuck,
that.
dude.
Like,
Show me the goddamn game, get on stage.
Exactly.
are we
So they've
doing
gotten a
here?
lot better, and hopefully they're gonna do like a little one for Hellblade with whatever else they're showing off, and they show like at least I don't need a lot. I don't need it a lot. It can be like 5 minutes, whatever. Just show me just pure gameplay, no cutscenes, no. It can
I
be
don't need to
cutscenes, but
see no
but
dev diary. I don't need to hear
Yeah.
The
about what you
fucking
had for
dev
supper.
diaries.
I don't care.
You know how many dev diaries they have like in at that studio? Like it's
Bro,
like
half the
we've
time
heard
they
it
spend more. They spend 30 seconds showing the game, and then the devs talk for 15
I
minutes.
don't
Like,
need
I
to
don't
see
know
any
you.
more backdrops of like
So-
Iceland and all that stuff. Okay, like just show me the game, the gameplay.
I'm chalking that on COVID, because we God of War waited until the end to actually show gameplay.
But that's what we saying. Stop showing it till you ready to just show it raw.
Oh, yeah, I feel.
Like,
I agree. I
like
agree.
we
If you ain't got
done.
nothing to show, keep your mouth
But-
shut.
Yeah.
No,
Working-
Josh Aries said, "Will they drop Hellblade?" No, they will not. That's a lot of money they spent on that game. It's not like a smaller project like.
Oh, the dev diary to direct. They're gonna. I've already seen hints of it. They're showing up at stores, so they're gonna drop that as you can pre-download it too.
Mhm. Yeah, they're not gonna drop it like they did Hi-Fi Rush.
They're
it's
doing that
definitely
to
gonna
the
get
stalker, but
marketing.
that's not their game. They got like a 3-month time exclusive, but that's gonna be the big Game Pass drop at the direct thing or whatever.
Dev Diary, you do that after you show the gameplay, kind of how they did with God of War. They showed us actual improvement, and then they went ahead with the Dev Diary, which I
mean,
love.
I don't mind a dev diary ahead. It's just the
I
part
mind
that
a Dev Diary when you're not showing me shit, when you haven't shown shit. Why am I supposed to be excited about artwork and concept art?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
They have yet to show us uncut game. Let that sink in. They have yet to show us uncut gameplay.
I mean,
for
technically,
2.
I think the first showing was gameplay. It just wasn't gameplay we wanted to see.
I mean, the fact that we've seen more gameplay from Metaphor than Hellblade 2 is crazy.
Yes, yes. We have seen gameplay from Rise of the Ronin than Hellblade. We've
Well,
seen
to be fair,
We
Rise of
see
Ronin is
more.
coming out
We've seen
before Hellblade.
No.
Yes, it is.
What? Wait. What, repeat what you
No,
said.
I think you
I
meant
said- I
he,
said,
he was thinking
To be
announced.
fair, I said we've seen. Well, Rise of the Ronin is coming out before Hellblade 2. So
It's coming same year out.
yes, but I'm
yeah, but
But I'm
it's
saying
still
is Hellblade
releasing
isn't
before
coming.
Hellblade.
It's
Yeah.
not coming in February. Hellblade might be coming at the end of the year. Is what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
but
Yeah.
Rise of the Ronin was debuted in gameplay form.
Yeah, but we know what they do. You guys are pitching games they ain't even started yet.
Yes,
like
a few
Outer Worlds
months
2,
before it
they're
released,
like,
though.
we don't know when it's coming. We don't know when we're gonna get it to work. But
Yo,
coming
they-
someday.
That
Outer
was
Worlds
crazy.
2.
That was crazy.
Like, dude, all we got is a title.
Yeah, that was crazy
Like,
that
what?
they debuted that so early that they're still
They ain't
working.
even started
they're
that
still-
shit.
Well, they're still
Fuck outta
working
here,
on.
you're talking about
the
2030.
studio is fully working on Avowed right now, so they're literally not even in concept on the Outer Worlds 2, but they showed it. Like I was like, wow, that was
These
a,
guys
that
are
was a
desperate. That's what I said.
That was
Holy
a dirty
shit.
trick.
I like that because they were just
Oh.
basically making fun of it. They were like saying,
And-
"Yeah, Microsoft."
It was fun. It was funny. They're like,
we're totally
you might not see
ready
this in your lifetime, but coming someday, Outer Worlds 2.
Yeah.
Can I block Josh? This
No.
dude remind me with Everwild. I hate you. I hate you so much. It was such a fantastic concept until it
Yeah,
got
Everwild was just some
We don't
concept
know what
art,
this
and they're
game
like,
is.
Everwild coming.
I
What?
don't
Don't
concept. We don't
know.
know what the hell that
What kind of
was.
game is it? Don't know.
Yeah,
you know what I
I was
mean?
about to say they didn't even know.
Dude.
What you mean? What did you see that you
Look,
like?
we showed you what we
that
got.
wasn't
We got
anything.
artwork. We don't know what kind of game it is. We don't know what come out. We don't even know what it's about.
Bro, by the time we
We just
see
showed you our
Everwild
art.
again, it's probably gonna be an entirely different game.
It's gonna be a 2D platformer. I'd be like, damn, what the hell? It's like, yeah, we just had creative differences, and this is what we came to. I'm
gonna
like,
be-
oh
It's
god.
gonna be Sea Thief expansion.
Yo.
Oh, God.
I will never forget. We don't know what our gameplay is gonna be like.
Oh yeah,
yet.
it's where you go into a different thing on the sea and you go into a mystical world of fucking art and shit. It's a
Yeah, I
Sea of Thieves
What's the
add-on.
gameplay gonna be like? Oh, we don't know. We're still looking into things.
I don't know what Xbox and Phil were thinking when they like greenlit it, like when the developers themselves didn't know what it was. Like, why would you greenlit a trailer? I guess because it was before launch. They
They
knew
really
weren't
didn't
gonna have anything.
They didn't have
and-
Bethesda at the time, so they were throwing out.
Yeah, they were just
15
basically
years,
showing all their
basically.
cards because they didn't have any launch games, and so they had
They
to
didn't
do
have any
something
games
in order
coming
to-
soon. I mean, if they went to Bethesda, what did they had last year? Forza. You know what I mean? Like, that's it.
Yep, they didn't have anything, so I
They
guess
have
they
shit.
had to show something. It's like, well, fuck it, just throw that shit out. But we're not ready. Just throw something out.
We ain't started this yet, but we plan on doing this someday. You know
Bro,
what I mean?
we don't even know if this is gonna be in the name. Just choose a name out of a hat. Just go. Just put something down.
I
Yeah.
have a quick question to Shad.
State of Decay 3 was shown or whatever, and that sounds like it's coming out
That's
in
another
2028.
game I want to play. I like State of Decay, and God knows
That's
what's going
gonna
on
be
with that
like
game.
9 years after debut that it comes out, or 8 years.
Yeah.
That
If
game's
it
never
comes
coming
out.
out.
Yeah, I was about to say if it comes
Yeah.
out, the way they're screwing that studio up, man.
Yeah, apparently like
Yeah.
overworked, and they're like
Everyone quit, so they're trying to
Motherfuckers,
find
like-
people to.
got
Well,
people
I
out there
mean,
dying of exhaustion.
Yeah, I mean they quit rightfully. Yeah, like you said, that the guy was like so stressed that he had to be hospitalized, and then
Like,
like,
yo, what the
he
hell's
was
going on in this
stating-
studio?
yeah, he was stating they basically outsourced the trailer because they literally were just in the beginning stages of like concept for the next game, and Microsoft was
this
like,
sound
yo,
some.
yo, hurry up, bro, we need that.
I didn't know that trailer was outsourced. That sounded like some days before shit.
Yeah, no,
Like-
it was outsourced because the team didn't have the resources to do it, and they were like basically looking at them like,
No wonder it looked like that.
Yeah.
Because I was like, when
Yeah.
I saw the trailer initially, I was like, "Ooh, what's this new IP?" And then at the end it says "State of Decay." I was like, "Wait a minute,
yep,
State of Decay has never looked like that," and I know this next one
Facts.
will not. So why the hell does the trailer look like this? This is so
So
misleading.
I know why, and this is gonna sound absolutely console-warish because of PlayStation. I will never forget And this is, I'm gonna involve Vitamin G podcast. I'm specifically gonna involve Pharaoh in this one. I will never forget when a PlayStation was doing showcase for Forbidden West. I told Pharaoh, this is how you show your game. He was like, with the cutscenes. I'm like, Pharaoh, this is pure gameplay. None of it was cutscene. He's a gamer. He couldn't he couldn't understand between cutscene and gameplay because of there was no button prompt. But if you played the first one, you clearly could know that this is gameplay, not cutscene. PlayStation have mastered the art between cutscene and gameplay so well. Remember, go back to Last of Us 2. What did Microsoft said? We don't have anything that can touch this right now. So then you're gonna try to do some disingenuous marketing with State of Decay 3, with even Everwild. You could say even Everwild was
Halo 2, man. That game looked all
Halo.
different than when it launched.
Halo, the reveal trailer for Halo wasn't the end product. Like,
That's not what you got.
Yeah, I don't know if it was necessarily for PlayStation or it was just because they wanted to
no,
put something
this
out
is
there.
PlayStation.
But I
Because
mean,
what
I
other
don't know
studio?
because like anybody who knows anything about these games, it doesn't really take much knowledge to know that them games aren't gonna look like that. Like,
Yeah,
you're not fooling anybody with them.
I'm
damn
not gonna lie, they
trailers.
fool me times, but now that's why I just sit and wait. I ain't gotten a new Xbox or nothing because there's been so many times I'm like, I can't wait to play that. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? The goddamn
mean,
Wish
yeah.
Edition?
Josh is right. Like the Avowed concept, how that changed, like the CGI trailer for Avowed.
I know, and I like
Completely
Obsidian game, but
Yeah.
it's like, man, I'm just gonna, it's Xbox. I don't know how many times I've been excited and the game comes out and I was like, this ain't no shit like what I thought it was gonna be.
Listen, I'm gonna stop ragging on Xbox. Like, look, I'm waiting on them just to, finally get it to where I am excited for another Xbox
Figure
game.
something
That's
out.
all.
Let it release and just let it be what it is.
Yeah, that's definitely been my plan. I'm gonna see what this Hellblade's doing and these other games, and if they look good, sure, I'll pick it one up. But they definitely gonna have to prove it to me.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not in any rush or anything. I have enough to play.
Mm-hmm. Same. Oh, and that Phantom Blade Zero game's supposedly coming out in 2024 too.
Oh
Which
yeah.
one? Phantom Blade.
Phantom
Zero?
Blade Zero.
Never heard of it, but okay, I'm
Yeah,
told.
you've heard of it. You just don't remember.
Oh, is that the one with the horse? I remember now. I'm sorry, James
With-
Bless.
That one I have a hard time believing.
With
the
Like they
horse.
said it was gameplay and stuff, but
Is it the one with the horse?
But so for me, it was like this. When
There's
I
never been a
see
game with a horse.
and I forget about it because I'm not gonna play it by now. When I play it, I'm gonna be super excited about it. Otherwise,
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna be anticipating it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh, the Sand of Time one. Yeah, the Ubisoft platformer.
oh, okay.
That too.
So yeah. So speaking of Ubisoft, thank you for that transition.
Oh damn.
You
No,
did
no,
it
no,
up.
no,
That was
no, no,
planned.
no, 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 no,
Precisely.
no,
Prince
no, no.
of
Morgan has
Persia.
returned.
Yeah,
Morgan
wait, you
has
didn't
returned.
ask Weeb.
So now it's my turn. So Omar,
Oh shit.
sit your ass down.
I hate you. But you, it's a bad man. Go ahead.
You save that segue for next time.
But it was such a fantastic segue. Damn.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Right in the corner. So what am I looking forward to? Of course, Like a Dragon: Infinite Wealth, Game of the Year.
Yeah.
Shocker, so much shocker in this one.
Yeah, that's a shocker. Yeah, probably also gonna get the Last of Us remastered just for those lost levels. Prince of Persia also looks pretty good. What else is coming out a lot?
There's all the stuff around that game. That the game, if it was really dry coming up, I would have definitely picked up, or I'm gonna pick up later. But that thing's releasing right before a whole bunch of stuff. I think it's gonna really hurt it bad.
It's insane. Yeah, I really have to like plan my shit now because
That game would have been a
I'm-
lot better off like releasing in like the beginning of the month or something like that. So
yeah, because
You're buying games and you're not touching them, and they're going into the service, and you're like, I bought them.
yeah,
I-
that's kind of the problem with Ubisoft games because there's a good chance that's going to be discounted if you wait on it.
yeah, just wait 2 weeks. It'll be discounted.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Metaphor,
But
you
yeah.
interested?
Oh, Lost
No.
Soul aside too. Damn.
Yeah.
Oh,
Lost
yeah,
Soul
that's also
Aside,
coming out.
I'm
Coming this
curious
out this
if
year because that
it's
was
gonna
not in
be
the trailers.
I'm
True,
curious
that
if it's
wasn't.
gonna be final release this year.
That's I'm not gonna lie. I'm super I'm ridiculously excited for that game, but I don't know if I should be because that is PlayStation's Everwild right now.
Oh, come on.
I've been waiting for that game since like 2018, dude.
Aw,
That's
he said that.
okay.
I hopes.
Nah. That's
Yeah, but
absolutely
at least you
okay.
know what it is, right?
At least we know what
That's
it
true.
is.
I just
We
don't know
see
if it's ever gonna
gameplay,
come anywhere.
unlike Everwild. But
Yeah, but
Metaphor, are you
it's
excited
coming.
about
It's
Metaphor?
coming. Nope.
No, you're not excited about Metaphor. Interesting.
No. Yeah, I mean, I'm not that much of a like a Persona fan, so it's gonna be.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense then.
That makes
Yeah,
sense.
I mean, I like 5, but it's like to me, like it's not like I'm a huge fan of the series or anything. So
What
um,
about 100 Heroes?
I'm definitely gonna get that one, of course. Of course, also Final Fantasy Rebirth. Unicorn Overlord is coming in March. The new Vanillaware game. Rise of Rome.
Unicorn
Unicorn
Overlord.
Overlord.
Unicorn, yeah, I remember that one.
Oh, you do? Okay.
I was about to say, every time we bring it up at first, he's like, what? Oh, yeah.
Now
yeah,
I
that
know.
one.
Now I know because
Yeah,
it's so
with the horse. Rise of the Ronin, of course.
Dragon
and
Dogma.
yeah, no, I mean, I never finished the first one, so it's like not. I might get it, but it's not like high on my list to play day one.
we in the
Probably
same
just
we in the
gonna go-
same boat.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I didn't finish the first one either, and I was like,
It's like, first of all, Weeb is definitely getting Helldivers because he's got to play with us. So
Oh shit.
she said you're gonna have to cough up that $40.
I didn't want to mention it so that like, maybe could dodge that bullet, but I guess.
absolutely not.
Is Kay playing with you guys or no?
I don't know if she's gonna be off.
Not that many
And
people are
what
talking about that, but I got people fighting over who's gonna play that with me. Even people out like, you're gonna play
What
with me,
about
right? I'm like, I don't know.
I mean,
Play that with me.
Helldivers can potentially be the revival for Lost Planet. After a huge Lost Planet.
Well, I mean,
fan.
I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna
Shut
say
up.
that because it plays it's not like that. It's
Yeah.
not like that.
Yeah.
It
I mean,
looks like an awesome
everything is
concept.
Lost
Let me
Planet.
dream.
It's not like
Let
Lost
me
Planet.
dream.
Man, trust me. I like the Lost Planet too, bro. Trust me. I had a whole joke about riding on top of the cannon when we were fighting the train on the train. Like, trust me, I was about that life. I'm just not gonna be this game.
I know. It's way more bullet heli and element. Not bullet heli. Enemies heli. Cause shit ton of enemies at you. I
Oh,
see
that they got in common.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to Hellblade. Helldivers
Helldivers.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Stellar Blade, of course, is also coming out this year. Or sorry, Stellar Yams. How can
Absolutely.
I mispronounce it?
How dare you?
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm not sure. Yeah, can we mention because we know of the leaks that's Insomniac's also releasing a certain game this year, so that's gonna.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah, I'm not
What?
gonna mention it. What? Omar, you
I
know.
don't remember any game releasing this year.
Yeah. Spoiler, so we're not
I will
gonna
ask you. I will
discuss it.
ask you elsewhere. Cause um
Yeah.
I don't remember. I forgot. But go ahead. Continue.
All right. Oh yeah, Sandland. There's also the
Sound?
Toriyama
Land?
Sandland. Yeah,
Okay.
the anime manga game. It's based on the manga by Akira Toriyama.
Damn, I
Huh?
actually forgot about that one, but it does look interesting.
Oh, is that the one with the Shibigoku esque?
Not
Not
really.
Shibigoku, but like it has the
You're talking. He's talking
visual.
about the art style, but yeah,
Yeah.
yes. What you're asking is
Okay.
yes.
I know. I
Yeah,
remember what game
yeah,
it is now.
because it's Akira Toriyama. The Visions of Mana uh, also looks interesting, and yeah, I mean, I have to wait and see. Apparently, the Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 is coming out this year, but it's not by the same developer as the first game, so I'm not sure if it's going to be any good. But I mean, the first game was fire, so I
Which game?
hope it's going to be good. Bloodlines 2,
Blood.
Lines 2.
Bloodline 2. I'm gonna look it up. Um. So, are you aware of that game that where you play as one character that is his dead girlfriend or wife, and you can play as them,
You're
both of
talking
them?
about banishers.
Yeah, Banishers.
Yeah,
Are you
I'm
interested
aware.
in that game?
I'm aware of the game. Yeah, it looks interesting, but yeah, I mean, I'm let's say not excited for or anything. But I have to wait and see. But it has potential. So yeah. Um, so if it's good, I'm gonna hop on that.
Oh, Star Wars Outlaws. Forgot about that.
Oh, Vampire Masquerade Bloodline. Okay, I
Yeah,
see.
yeah. Oh yeah, and there's also gonna be a new Contra game coming out this
New
year as
what?
well. Contra,
Contra.
Contra?
Operation Beluga. Contra. Still on Contra? Jesus Christ, Omar.
Bruh. I swear, Omar is like confused right now.
I'm hearing Contra. My bad hearing.
You
So
don't need what you don't know what content.
Bro, I don't even like Contra, and I heard what he said.
so that's why I'm confused. What you said?
You don't know what?
Contra.
Yeah.
Omar. Contra.
Oh, so I did hear Contra.
Yeah.
Yes.
Are you sure you? Oh, okay. So
Oh my God.
the gameplay. No. Let me explain. The last Contra they released was so fucking terrible. It's so bad. It's bad. So I was confused how it can be excited about the new Contra, but then I remember fuck you, fuck you,
Uh,
Wara. I I can't.
Yo, he said, I
Is
think Omar needs a reboot
Konami
today.
making it or are they outsourcing it? Because I don't want it. Like I'm
We
not even
agree with
excited
you,
about the
War.
Metal Gear remake no more, dude. Because they're making it themselves and they're just dog shit. Like all their talent left a long time ago. They can barely make a port.
The thing is, no, I might have faith with the new Contra because from the gameplay they seem to have gone back to the root. It it's not what the previous Contra was. This
I
seems
mean,
to be
I mean,
OG
I'm, I'm,
Contra.
I'm gonna, I'm gonna get that remake of Metal Gear Solid 3.
Yeah, that's
But,
a proper remake.
Oh,
It
yeah.
seems.
Yeah.
yeah.
But the last Contra they released was so terrible. So I was confused. Why is he excited about it? But then I remembered the gameplay for the
Yeah.
new Contra. So yeah.
Okay. So
Any
Omar,
idea if
Omar,
it's online
huh?
co-op or no? Or couch
Uh,
co-op?
I have no idea. Probably, I would
Because
imagine so.
it's Contra. It should be.
Yeah.
4 player, 5 player co-op would be fantastic. Hey,
So
hey,
Omar,
why do you guys want to reboot me?
You
Bruh,
need
you,
you need a
yeah,
hard reboot.
yeah, you sound like you're
yeah.
malfunctioning today.
I hate all of you.
Omar just like, wait, what game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Cannot
Yeah.
compute. Please repeat.
I,
Can we remake Omar?
yo, not Omar the remake. Oh man, gotta make sure we patch out some of those bugs though.
what improvement would you guys want? Better hearing?
And give
Hey,
you super. We're gonna give you super hearing.
Yeah,
sadly I
get
can't.
rid of this amnesia you got.
Yeah.
Amnesia?
Omar be like,
Wait,
wait,
wait, what?
what
Actually,
game?
Huh?
to be
What game
fair,
is
to be fair,
Oh
that's,
yeah.
to be fair, that's actually medical. I'm not joking, but we move
We're
on.
gonna give you photographic memory. We're gonna fix it. That's what we call it, the
Oh,
Right.
remake.
that
Instant.
Yeah.
I already have that,
So it just
but
bruh, no, you do not.
I genuinely already
You
have
just
that.
lied.
But I forgot
Oh, I
because
already
of
have
my
that.
medicine. I swear, my medicine I
Right.
take makes you forget more.
Oh
Well,
my
see
Forgetful.
yeah.
gosh.
So then there's something to fix in the remake. There you go. So no more medicine, and your memory will function properly.
Hey, if that's the remake coming, I'm down.
There you
I
go.
would
See,
delete
I
the
paid $70
original.
for it though.
$70
You ain't getting it
Yeah.
for
though.
free.
It's a full remake.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
gonna be a cheap ass remaster, unfortunately.
Oh
Oh
man.
no.
It's gonna be the Switch HD port.
We are you done?
Sure.
With
You can go. You could go ahead with your segue now.
no, I'm gonna make sure that others wanna go or jump in or not. Nate, you wanna cover yours or you already did it?
Yeah,
Uh,
last week. Yes. No.
yeah. No, I did. I'm trying to see something. Morgan point. At some point. At some
Yeah,
point.
the wording, you see the Konami, it's like flipped.
No,
Like
but
all the
like,
wording.
I don't understand how it flipped. Like, I didn't even do anything.
Yeah, that's all I was saying. Yeah, it's like flipped for some reason.
It's Konami. You know, fuck Konami.
Yeah, I was like, wait. I was like, wait a minute. What?
You see, it's like all the text is like backwards.
It's backwards.
Oh yeah, I see the gameplay. Yeah. It reminds me of where the
Omar
fuck
completely
is.
missed what you meant.
Yeah, it's all good. Just let it
Yeah,
go.
but it's weird though, because the imaging isn't. It's just the
Right.
word. That's so
Maybe
weird.
it's the video itself. I don't know. Maybe it's
Yeah,
just
maybe
that.
it's the video.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's fine.
because the other stuff wasn't flipped. The
No,
stuff from
yeah,
earlier.
exactly.
So I was
So I
like,
was
wait,
like,
what? Yeah. It's funny because
Oh,
on my TV, like the actual video of it is not flipped. So I was like, I don't know what the heck.
yeah, only this gameplay seems to be flipping.
Yeah. Morgan noticed
Moving
that real quick.
on. Moving on. What you wanna cover yours or move on?
Yeah, I mean, I could just say it real quick. Obviously, the Suikoden 1 and 2 remaster, because obviously Suikoden 2
Forgetting
is
about that, I haven't played the first one, so I can't wait to play that.
yeah, Suikoden 2 is my
Neither, so it's gonna
favorite,
be
my
new
second
for
favorite
me.
game of all time. So getting those is
I've
phenomenal.
played two. I've never played one.
Yeah, it's two. One is still very very good. I played both. They're both really good. Um, and then of course, Eden Chronicles and 100 Heroes being a spiritual successor to my second favorite game of all time is huge on my list. Not to be confused again with that trash Eden Chronicles Rising. Like we just not going we're gonna act like that never happened. A
Is
lot
it
like
really trash? I enjoyed it.
terror bad. Terror bad.
It.
Um
It's an indie game.
bro,
You played it.
it
You move on.
looks like a graduating class made that.
It could actually be a passion project. Not gonna lie.
I mean,
That's how it
they
felt.
wanted something to come out ahead of time to tell like more of the story.
Oh,
So,
okay.
I mean, I get
Yeah.
why they did it. I just don't like it. Um then honestly probably Metaphor obviously which looks amazing. A surprise one for me cuz I didn't know anything about this game is John Carpenter's Toxic Commando. That game looks actually like a whole lot of fun. Looks like it's gonna be like a 4-player co-op like zombie hunting game, and it looks crazy. So I'm hoping or it plays as good as it looks. So they did show some gameplay in the trailer they released for it. It looks really good. So I'm excited for that. Alongside hopefully the release of Killing Floor 3, which is really big. That's a game that I've played for probably 15 years now, from Killing Floor 1 to 2, and now 3 being on the way. So those are all really big for me. And then, of course, Persona 3 Reload. That's a day one. Going to be playing that. I think I do feel a little salty about them devaluing the product the way that they did, putting it on Game Pass. So I may just
Excuse me, sir. Game Pass
That's
adds
their
value.
choice.
yeah, right. I may just play it there first and then buy it on a discount later because I'm like, if you guys don't think it's worth full price, that's kind of what that says to me. So
Mhm.
Damn, will you actually play it twice? Cause
I mean, yeah, I mean,
you're gonna buy it on PlayStation, right?
yeah. I mean, I have I mean, I own Persona 4 Golden on PS Vita and I own it on PS4. So I mean, I'm a really big Persona fan. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So I'll have it on Game Pass because I mean my Game Pass is paid through like July or something, so I'll just have it. So I might as well, and then I'll just pick it up on discount later. I know it'll drop pretty soon, so I'll probably pick it up for $30, $25 or something. There's obviously tons of other games we're gonna be playing. I want to say Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which I am, but I still got to finish the first one before, obviously, I get into that being a direct sequel and a continuation. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think yeah, that's most of them. Still plenty
Okay.
more,
What about you,
but yeah.
Nelson?
Sorry, I was reading something.
Nice. Okay. What
No,
about
What was
you?
the question?
What are you looking forward to this year?
Oh my God, you just opened up a can of worms. Um,
this man was like, "Oh God, oh let me tell you."
Say, what don't I want to play this
let
year?
me tell you, son. Tekken 8, Grand Blue Fantasy Relink, Dragon's Dogma, Helldivers 2, Rise of the Ronin. That's just upcoming. Prince of Persia, I'll get down the road, but I want to play that too. But it's just coming out at a time where it's like I ain't got time for your ass.
Yep, agreed.
I see.
But yeah, that's just
Uh,
the first couple. There's probably some shit I'm missing too, to be honest.
Bro, there's
There's a
there's
bunch of stuff on
always
VR I want right
there's
now that I'm
always stuff
trying to
we're
stay.
missing.
I'm trying to get my pre-orders out
I
of the way.
think
Like,
when it comes down to it, we all are looking forward to the same thing for the most part.
What I need to do right now is invest in a sugar daddy. Somebody to buy me these damn
If
games.
you need a sugar daddy, what do I need?
Oh man, get you a sugar mama. What you mean?
Sugar mama.
get you an old lady to pay for your shit.
Mhm.
Mars 2024. You can also have a sugar daddy.
Yeah, you go.
Oh man,
Okay.
you do
How
like
about
you do like Jack move, make him pay you to play the game.
how
All
about
right, y'all want me to play that? Buy it for me.
Right, right.
how about
Send me
oh
that.
yeah. Thankfully I would not. No, no. If someone gifted, nice, but I'm not gonna do that
Not
right
you.
now.
I'm talking about Morgan.
Oh, Morgan.
Ain't nobody paying to
Why
watch you
do
play
you
the
say it
game.
like that? Oh, Morgan, that's fine. Why do you say it like that? Well, I'm not gonna do it, but Morgan, yeah, she can do it. He brushed that on me real quick. Oh, Morgan, oh, that's fine.
Wait, explain to me what I wanna. What do you mean with I'm super excited for Skull and Bones, but really not excited at all for Skull and Bones? I need some context.
Oh, I
And
forgot that was coming out this year.
before we
Nah.
continue, I wanna give a shout out to
Yeah, I
chat.
forgot that was coming too.
I haven't done so. So Josh Eris, shout out to you.
I've only heard one person that's gonna get that game.
Hero
I'm gonna
Hero
watch
No.
somebody play it.
Under, shout out to you.
That game is dead on arrival.
So Sony Sim, shout out to you. And Fresh, as always, shout out to you. And Warawana, shout out to you. Uh, going back to it, so um, going to Ubisoft. So Prince of Persia, apparently it's gonna be 25 hours main story only. So far I know. Is that too much for a Metrovania? I'm gonna start
Oh,
with people that actually play Metrovania.
yeah, I was gonna say
Wait.
you gotta like ask Weeb or some shit. I was like, I
Yeah,
don't know.
precisely. I'm not gonna ask you,
Yeah, I hate them shits. So
yeah, precisely.
All right,
So
it's
we,
like Symphony of the Night takes me a long time just because I get fucking confused on where I'm at.
No, it doesn't. That's not too long. Well, okay. Look, Ubisoft does have a tendency padding their shit, but it's not it's not a Assassin's Creed or Far Cry game. So I'm not worried about that. But it depends. Like you're used to the fact that there are a lot of indie Metroidvania games, and they tend to be shorter. But a full-fledged Metroidvania game can be that long. No problem.
To me, I I I'm curious. Are they gonna find a way to pad it, a la every single Assassin's Creed game or every single Ubisoft game, or is it going to be a genuine Metrovania? Why is it 25 hours long? Is the story that good, or is it gonna be riddled with side quests, or is it games, or is the map that big?
I don't see how. I think I would imagine they're exaggerating a bit because they want to make it seem like they're sort of a victim of their own, well, success, or at least their own strategy, that they tend to pad their games with a lot of activities on the map. But that's their open world game, so I guess they kind of need to do this also for their other games, sort of to make it seem like you're getting value for your money. But I mean, I can't imagine. Like, is often the case that generally these estimates do tend to be a bit more than what the average gamer would spend on, and I guess also depends on what. Like, I
So,
cannot imagine that just to completing the story is probably, if you want to do everything, then it could take 25 hours, and that's not strange. I mean, if you want to complete a Metroidvania game that allows you to do backtracking, and you want to collect explore 100% of the map, that can
That's true.
take
A
some
lot of
time.
Metroidvanias are 75% backtracking
Yeah,
easily.
I
It's- that
mean,
that,
Oh, I got a
that
key
can
for
be
Tekken
this now.
was
fun.
Now I
just.
got to go all the way to the castle or the stage or the world or whatever.
So here it is. 25-hour long, 4K 120 FPS. That made Morgan excited. Um,
Absolutely. I just need to hear about them DualSense features.
Gaming difficulty options, exploration and guided mode, narrative driven with big surprises. Mark your map with photos. That's iffy. I need to see how that works. I hope you can mark your map normally, because otherwise. Farsi, Persian language option. That's interesting. Wasn't originally developed in 2D. Okay. Bring back fear and isolation. Okay. Inspired by Metroid Dread. Okay. Demo launching and review coming on January 11th and launching on January 15th. I'm gonna ask who day one this. Morgan?
I'll play the demo, and if it intrigues me, then it'll be day one.
Interesting.
Yeah, there we go. That's a good
NA?
answer. Yeah, probably pretty much the same. I mean, like I said, I'm not typically into them, but if it's
You're gonna
phenomenal in the
try out a
demo,
platformer? Oh my god! Everybody, record this moment. This
oh
is this
man,
is this is a very special moment. This man, when I tell you he hates platformers, like he like with a capital H,
He hates
like
platformers,
It,
yes.
but
it,
if it's gonna be something playing, because I know him, he's
Listen,
gonna play it
it was
with
me,
you.
Kay, Fox, and him. We tried to get him to play Sackboy. This man, I ain't never seen this man so angry in my life as when we tried to get this man to play Sackboy with us. He was just like,
So,
usually he's talking in the party chat. He was quiet the entire time. I could like feel the
uh,
tension of how angry he was
oh
having to
man.
play this game.
so what you
Like I was
tell
just like, all
me?
right, we're done. It's cool.
So what you telling me this is gonna be a mispurchase for him by default?
No, I mean, like I said, there's a is a demo, so he can try it out,
Yeah,
and if he
I
likes it,
mean,
yeah.
but knowing every Metroidvania in ever, the game gets difficult the more active abilities you get.
Yeah.
So at the end, if this might be a mispurchase for him.
Yeah,
Um,
we'll see.
Weeb, day one.
yeah, if it's any good.
So you're gonna try the demo out and see from there.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Okay.
it's Ubisoft.
Nelson?
It's a smart way to go about
I
it.
already said I'm This is Prince of Persia, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna definitely try the demo. I'm gonna wait, especially I know Ubisoft. If I wait like 2 to 3 weeks, I'll get it for half price. Maybe
Yeah,
I'll be done.
that's another thing too. They always discount their games so quickly, like in a matter
sometimes
of
it's a
couple
week,
weeks. Yeah.
like 2 weeks, man.
Mm, if the game doesn't do well, yeah, but if it does
Well,
well,
none of them do well
but
compared to the
I
budget. They
am
really don't.
hearing,
Avatar, they might have
I
sold
mean, you know,
3 million
Mirage
copies,
supposedly
but
did
that
well, but they discounted
this
it pretty quickly.
this
all their
remind me,
games, shit.
this
Assassin's
this
Creed even they sell a lot on that. That shit, wait 2 months, half price.
this this remind me with PlayStation Confident. If your game is coming out, what, the 16th or 15th, launching 15, and you're releasing a review in January 11, that smells, yes, it's not long, like 2 weeks or 1 week, but
When is
that
it? When's the release date?
release date is 15.
Okay.
Demo is at 11. To me, this smells confident. This showed me they are confident in their product. Because remember, Xbox said that they do mock reviews. And now that I know that Xbox do mock reviews, I'm pretty sure most, if not every single publisher, does their own mock review.
Well,
And
yeah, I
if
mean,
you're that,
they want to get a feel for it, but the
yeah,
reality is, it's like anything else, right? Like, there's a market for it, and then your market shrinks based on what else is coming out that those people,
Exactly. If
have
there
the
was
money.
nothing else coming out that month, I might get it.
Yeah.
I'd still wait the 2 weeks because I know Ubisoft. That shit, I get at least 25% if I wait 2 weeks.
But
uh,
yeah, like your day one people, like they could be really, really excited. But then, like I said, if there's one or two other games immediately, like that game is just way, way, way
Right
too
before or right
close.
after that game, you need to throw it in a month where there's hardly anything.
what comes after that game?
I mean,
Like
basically,
a dragon.
yeah, like a dragon, and then
Basically everything we listed today.
yeah, and then everything else immediately.
When does Like a Dragon come though?
I think it's
Yeah,
January
That's
28th
what
or
he
Tekken
something
asked.
like
comes
that.
like right at like the
Place-
day
yeah,
after it or 2 days after it or something. Maybe even on the same day.
No,
week
no,
later.
no, a week?
Yep.
Yeah.
A week is enough time to finish a Metrovania.
No. I'm saying you could play it, but
Well,
then
yeah,
that's
in,
not it.
in Omar's
35
world,
hours
where
In
all he
Omar's
does
world.
is play games, yeah.
What? What did you say, Morgan?
I said, well, yeah, in Omar's world, where all he does is play.
No.
Yeah, it's plenty of
It's
time.
20. It's 25.
Sir, sometimes we don't have the hours to squeeze, okay?
We beat God of War and other games in a week.
Yeah, because I
man.
took dedicated days off for God
Yeah,
of
she
War,
took days
though.
off.
That's different.
Ah, okay, I see. So basically, it is an Omar time. Okay, fair.
Oh, Last of Us 2. The Last of Us 2, the freaking
Yeah, that's what I
remaster.
said, yeah.
Also,
Don't
Mhm.
count because that's
no, but it's something that is releasing that if
Oh, yeah,
you're
and I'm
going to
playing
play
it, so
it's gonna take your
Yeah, but-
time.
okay. So, but the people that they are excited about Prince of Persia are gonna prioritize that, especially after Like a Dragon Ishin.
listen,
uh,
I applaud Ubisoft for at least putting out a demo. I don't think they normally do demos, so
Yeah, they
Good-
don't. They don't typically.
I think they realize, this is something different from what they normally make. And so it's probably best idea to put a demo out there and
Yeah.
let people judge for themselves. So
By the
speaks-
way, this is
good
the
job
game
for them.
that I'm talking about,
Yeah,
Banisher.
the Banishers game that was up there.
I'm super excited because I love the
yeah, that looks
concept.
pretty good. Yeah.
How
It
you
looks
play-
really good, but games that have this look and this epicness to them when they're not first party PlayStation, I gotta be cautious because
yeah.
I'm like, it
it's
has
got
the look.
I see it getting a high 70, low 80s.
Wait,
Yeah,
Metacritic.
this is a 70. I'm thinking this was 80 or 90.
Omar.
Prince of Persia?
Nah,
no,
it's
the
talking about
Banishers.
Banishers.
90s.
I'm hoping
Omar.
I don't
God
know what
with
that
real
is.
talk,
Omar.
I'm seeing it mid 80. I'm not
It's playing on
joking.
the.
Okay.
I was playing.
That's
it on the
fine,
YouTube.
but 90s is crazy. Like what?
90 is crazy.
I could definitely see when I calculate for like overarching meta, I'm calculating for people who inherently don't who don't really like that type of
When is this game
game.
coming out?
Banishers?
This
Yeah.
coming out in
Oh yeah, your
late
game though.
late
Nate.
24, I think.
Massive. What?
Mass Effect 5 is supposed to come out 2024 this year.
Mass
No,
Effect's like 2029, I think.
no, it won't. It won't. It won't. It's because what might actually come out this year is Dragon Age Dreadwolf. So
Really?
that's
Oh,
why
yeah.
Matt.
You need to speak it into existence, sir. You're being
I mean,
a
Yeah, I
I
think that's
I
coming out in
want-
like 2026.
Yeah, I want to, but yeah, like
Hey,
Dreadwolf
speaking
is
of
a lot.
Everything
closer.
I've heard is that things are not going well in BioWare right now in any way,
Oh,
shape, or
man.
form.
that's
Speaking of
definitely
Mass
not good.
Effect 5, there it is on queue.
Yeah, that's what she was. Yeah,
No,
what
that's
she was
why.
saying.
That's why I said it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I mean, it
Um,
looks phenomenal. Like, I mean, obviously, I can't wait. Like, there's nothing. There hasn't been anything else like Mass Effect since. Which, speaking of which, Omar needs to get started on Mass Effect 2.
He's too busy playing these Tinky
I-
Winky games that nobody ever heard of.
No,
So
Mass Effect 2 is so good. What are you doing?
bro, he
That's in my
made it.
top 10
He
all
Omar will
made
time.
have
it
these
through
all
big
time.
games to play and be like, nah, let me play this
Bro.
this
one was
obscure
terrible.
indie that you
One
guys
was
never heard of.
terrible.
Let me play this D-list game.
One was terrible, but trust me, 2 apparently it improved on a lot of things. So,
Why do I have to trust you, Omar? You haven't played it.
because I have spoken to a lot of people and they
Oh,
said, too.
So
Omar,
what you're saying is you need to play it.
Omar, everybody on this panel has played Mass Effect 2 except you.
Morgan haven't.
I played a little bit of it. I just didn't finish it.
There you go. There you go. So now you are the only one.
Now I am the only one.
Oh
Okay.
man, he thought he had a friend.
I'm gonna play it right now.
Yeah, there you
Not
go.
right now
I mean,
after the podcast, but yeah.
I'm joking, but I'm actually. So here's the thing. I have a few games left to play before I run out of games. So I'm taking my time with them, and I'm
Bro,
giving more
Mass
time to
Effect
Oh,
is
Omar,
long.
I'm about to put the thing back on for you again because my sister's done. So
Banishers
Oh.
looks good, but I mean, it's coming out in the
Omar,
kill
why-
zone. Like,
why
the
are you
game's
shooting
dead in the
games,
water.
man?
Yeah, it's coming
What
out in
did
the
you
kill
say,
zone.
Morgan?
I said I'm about to hook you up again because my sister's done. So
Really?
yeah, for
That's
now,
a
I
game
guess.
changer.
Look at this man.
That
Look at
that
this
doesn't
man.
mean that you don't play Mass Effect 2 though.
No, I'm gonna pay Max Effect 2 fair point.
Like, bro, you
Oh,
got
yeah,
you
I
got
love
you
this.
got a
Yeah,
week
I
and
gotta-
no job, bro. No excuses,
What-
bro. I want
what
you,
else? I'm
bro.
grounded.
You
Okay,
better,
fine.
bro. You better have heard of the freaking antagonist by the time we get to
Oh.
next week, bro.
Oh
I'm telling you,
man,
bro.
Hey,
he said he said like you got
by
homework.
the time of next week, I might have.
Yo, I've
finished
beaten
it.
Mass Effect 2 like 8 times, and that's a
If-
long game.
Facts.
If
Facts.
if that terrible car is not in it, then by 2 I'm gonna beat it way
Look,
quicker
I'm
than
I'm
1.
I'm I'm gonna call it right now. Next Saturday when you know we all have to say what games we play. Omar gonna tell us about some random
Omar gonna be
Japanese
like, I played
indie
I
No,
played
no,
Dodgeball
no.
Super
Single leg
Academy
game.
version 2.
I
that Super
absolutely gonna
Academy
play
at
too.
FNA 2 or something. I'm like, Omar, what the hell was that?
I
You gotta
absolutely
play
gonna
it,
play
bro.
2 after the show. No joke. Like no
All
crap.
right,
All
all
right.
right.
So when I ask you
okay.
who the elusive man is and what you think of him, you're gonna be able to answer.
Okay. You will get. You know me. I will hit you up personally and start a Discord conversation.
Oh wait, is Kingdom
about
Hearts
it.
gonna come out this year?
Nah, that's just
I don't
that
think
was that
so.
yeah, that was way it's just that super early like
Oh,
Kingdom
guessing.
yeah,
Got you.
Kingdom Hearts fans are
No,
just
It might come out
rabid.
next year.
I think,
Yeah, it might
I
be next
think
year.
I think this podcast have went way too much off way. Let's bring it back to the conversation. So PlayStation Lite First Party 2023 going into 2024 with no confirmed third party. Is this an issue for the upcoming year versus what should be a stellar year for Xbox third party? I mean, let's focus on PlayStation now. Xbox on the thing. So basically, last year PlayStation third party was trash. There is no way. Not trash. It's
In
lacking.
quantity.
it was just slim.
Yeah,
But I'd rather have
quantity.
one great game than 4 fucking mid games too. So
Yeah.
Also facts.
because I can fucking play, I mean, I can find mid. My backlog, I got like 500 mid games I can play right now that I got for free. You know what I mean? I don't give a fuck.
So, but when you compare it to I so with this year we have like I'm just gonna call it Rise of the Ronin. That so far we know exclusive, if not time. It's hitting PC, but I mean
It won't
Stellar,
come to
Stellar Games
Xbox.
is
It's
also
published by Sony,
exclusive.
so
yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
like
no,
Neo.
I
It's just
don't see I don't
PC.
see this one hitting Xbox ever because
No, it won't.
PlayStation
Sony's publishing it. It's just say,
because
think of it as
PlayStation
Neo. Think of it as Neo. You ever played
PlayStation
Neo?
publishing it. I
Yeah.
mean
Yeah.
I'm not surprised. Long time ago I read an interview by the developers from Neo and they said they're super happy with PlayStation to the part where they want to make a new IP with them. And Rise of the Ronin is that IP.
Yeah, but Sony owns the publishing rights for Neo, so that's why that's exclusive.
Yeah, they don't own
And
the IP though. So
And they own
the,
Sony
the,
the,
gets
the,
the I.
they
publishing
own
rights
they
for
own
Rise
the
of the Ronin.
they own the publishing rights of Neo. That means that nobody can
Yeah,
publish that the game cannot be released on Xbox without the permission of Sony.
Yeah, neither Rise of the Ronin. It's not hitting
Yeah,
Xbox. So
but
it's
but you have Stellar Yams because Sony
Stellar
is
Yam is also exclusive
yeah,
because
Hmm.
PlayStation
they're
rescued that
paying for the
game
development. Yeah.
Hmm.
from going under. This is full blown. Yeah. So does it matter if it's fair, quote unquote, first party, second party, third party, blah party,
I,
or
I,
I don't give a rat's ass.
according to
I've been saying
according
this.
to
The only
Phil,
thing
one person at a time. Nelson, go
uh,
ahead.
I was gonna say, I don't give a rat's ass what party it's coming from. The only thing is, I prefer it to be first party just because of this fact alone. This is the only reason. Say you got a studio that makes you got a two deal contract with their to make 2 games, make 2 amazing games, and now people are after them. They want to buy them, and they buy them, and you can't get a third game or whatever. That's the only reason that first party is more important than second. That's it for me. Is you
yeah,
could
okay,
lose that studio.
Okay.
yeah,
What
but
about you, Weeb?
and now I lost my trail of thought. Thank you, Omar.
Okay, you're welcome.
Uh,
I'll get back to
uh,
you.
what I want to say is that according to Phil, uh, it's first party if Microsoft pays for it, regardless of whether or not the developer is external. So that means that according to that definition, Stellar Blade and Rise of the Ronin are first party.
Hmm. Real talk, as someone that's uneducated on this topic, I have no idea what is what's the difference between second party and third party. I
Se-
know
se-
what
sec-
first party
sec-
is.
Second party technically doesn't exist. It's either a first party or third party, but it's generally used for when an external developer
Is owned by a
is
publisher.
developing. No, it's the external developer is developing a game exclusively to your platform. So, for example, Sackboy Adventures was developed by Sumo Digital, so that's
Yeah.
not owned by Sony. So that could technically be called second party, but it's a bit wish-washy because Sony owns the IP. So it's not there's not an official thing like second party because in the
Like
end,
Death
like
Stranding, so
yeah, Death Stranding could be considered a second party game, but you could also argue it's a first party game because Sony basically just gave Kojima a bag of money, said, "Okay, here you can develop a game for us exclusively." Uh, in the end, it doesn't matter if that's developed in house or if you essentially subcontract that to an external party, a still first party. So I mean, it depends like what your definition is, and like I said, if you take Phil Spencer's definition, then it's all first party, and And at the end, it doesn't matter, right? It's basically part of your gaming portfolio as a console manufacturer. Whether you develop it in-house or have an external developer do it, you own the IP or you own the publishing rights, and therefore it's tied to your console.
So second party, when did second party became a thing then?
I think always. I mean, I don't know when it became a thing.
No, because you just explained that technically doesn't exist.
Well, technically, there is no nothing like it. It's used like colloquially, like we
Mm-hmm.
use that, but it's not there. It's not officially a thing, right? It's either
Mhm.
first party or third party. Second
Yeah,
party is just like
it's
sort of this in between thing that we. But technically, it would fall within first party
And
territory
third
because
party is when you give a bag of money and you're not involved in
no, no,
development.
no, 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 no. Third party is anything like Prince of Persia. That's a third party game because you don't own that game. It basically is coming to your platform because the
Oh, third
publisher
party is
decides to put it
multiplayer.
on there.
Okay, I see. I
Yeah,
see.
yeah.
The way I look at it is, you got first party, your internal studios. Second party is like a spin off of it. Like say Housemarque's games before they bought them were second party games because they were an independent studio, which means they're not owned by anybody, and they're being funded by PlayStation. PlayStation owns their IP. Same with Death Stranding, a lot of these other games. So they can't go nowhere else. Sony has full control over them, but they don't own. So it's basically like first party, but it's considered second party because they're not an internal studio. And then third party, you got third party where you might fund something, but they're owned by a publisher. Like Neo is a third party exclusive because, well, that could be considered second party too because they own the IP, or they don't own the IP, but they own the publishing rights because they paid for it. But they're owned by Koei Tecmo, who uh, is a publisher themselves. So you could consider that second or third party, I guess.
Yeah, I mean it's
Mm-hmm.
basically
So
just a third
I
party
But when you're
exclusive.
working with an independent studio, they're not. You don't owe nothing to the publisher, so you're working directly with them.
wait.
It
Final
it
Fantasy
depends.
VII remake would be third party
It's a
then.
third
Yeah, it'd be a
party
third party
exclusive.
exclusive.
That's
Exactly.
it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Okay.
Sony's
So
not
Yeah,
Sony's not publishing that
They're
game.
not working with the studio. They're working with
yeah.
the publisher.
no,
Yes, Square Enix is
I thought
publishing and releasing that game.
PlayStation is working with Square. They said it themselves.
No, no, they're working to of course. I mean, they work with all these studios that they make games because they want to make sure that these games come out right. But they're not funding Final Fantasy VII
Mhm.
Remake. Square Enix is
Oh
publishing
God.
it.
Okay, I see.
Square Enix is making it. Right. They
Okay,
just paid for a timed exclusivity.
okay,
But a game like, you know, Death Stranding, it was published by, Sony. They paid for
That's
that.
how. Yeah, they're not. Konami's not owned by a first party anymore. He's independent. So
okay. So I have a question then for the entire cast members and chat as well. If you are as a gamer already that covered between first party, quote unquote, second party, no, remove first party, just second party and third party. Is that not enough as a platform holder? Me, like as
You
a
don't
PlayStation fan,
you're missing something here. So
go
when you're
ahead.
saying is that not enough, that's not the point. The point is the first party strength is what PlayStation is famous and known for, right? So
Yes.
it's not that we have like people trying to say like we have nothing to play. We have plenty to play. We're drowning in shit
Mm-hmm.
to play. But there is a certain thing that only PlayStation first party studios delivers, and that is why that role is still very important, and they are, as a platform holder, that's their responsibility and needs to maintain being strong. That's why for the longest time,
can't count on second party forever. Arrow
yeah, you
Yes,
contract could be up with
but
Helldiver.
if you
Come pick
if
them up.
you, let's say for example you have God of War, next God of War, okay?
what
Just
about
an
it?
example. Um, let's say it's being developed and it's about to be released. Would and you have Rise of Ronin, and Telerian, and you paid exclusivity for Rebirth. Why would you release then God of War this year?
What do you mean
Why
this
not?
year? You're talking about an entire year versus like the
Yeah, a
moment.
lot of these games are coming out the first 3 months. We still have other months that need to be covered.
Look,
Like,
so far we know most months are stacked.
Well,
what?
no,
What
but
about?
she's saying
No,
all we really know
It's
is
Until
stacked
till
through
the
March. I don't know shit
it's
March.
stacked till March, but we don't know
yeah,
after
until
that.
March, yeah.
Yeah, the only game we know beyond March right now is Metaphor. That's it.
But would you rather PlayStation take time to fix, not to
Listen,
fix,
listen.
to,
This
yeah?
is how I feel about it. Okay, like, um, like Nate said, first party, the games that PlayStation makes and releases are is what they're known for, and it's what we support PlayStation for, right? We buy these consoles, we choose these consoles over other platforms because of PlayStation's first party and the quality of games they deliver. Now, so far, right, and it's what it's looking like. I'd be surprised if they do announce a first party title. I mean, they could come out and say, hey, we got something,
They
right?
said Concord's
But
coming this year.
oh yeah, that's true. That's technically first party. There you go. But as far as like the staple, I'll say like the first string. Yeah, I'm gonna call Concord like a second string studio because we don't really know what
Yeah,
they can do. But as far as like the first string, the big players, Santa Monica, Bend, Sucker Punch, all of them, all of those people, right?
yeah,
Insomniac,
yeah. Your
Yeah,
start,
yeah,
your
all
starting
of them.
lineup. That's what I
The
like to
starting
call. Yeah,
lineup
I like to
right over
call them
here.
that. Yeah,
Like we don't know if they're gonna bring anything, right? Um, but of course, at the end of the day, I want Sony to, in the studios that they own. I don't want them to compromise anything just because they don't have anything ready. Like, hey, it's not ready. Hey, this game that Ben's making is not ready, but hey, we need something for 2024. So wrap it up, release it, whatever. Like that's the last thing that I want to happen. I want them to take their time. I want them to cook. I want them to get it to where they envision the game and release it then. And because I guess this, I know, like I said, I know everybody's so sick of hearing the COVID excuse, but it really did fuck up everybody's schedule. Like it was
it
like
did.
it's like the starting of a tsunami, like the earthquake under the ocean, and then the wave ripples, and then it just heads to land. Like it's a after effect that continues to cause ripples in their plan, right? And I think it's just this is the point. Like they were ready to go at the beginning, and this is the point where COVID messed up development and pushed things back. Like they reached that point where okay, this is a stalemate where it's kind of just dry right now.
yeah. The gap
But
is
I
showing.
think
Also, remember, they released God of War and Forbidden West in the same year.
yeah, I mean
And Gran Turismo and
they've been very good
all
at
the
the
same year.
consistency of dropping bangers in so far for this gen.
But when
And
you get
I
3 or 4
think
first party in one year, you're probably not going to get a whole lot the
yeah,
next
that's the
year.
thing.
So, is it
Exactly.
wrong
Look
to
at
And I
release?
2020.
think
2020 was loaded. 2021 was not. They had 2 games or whatever. Then
mhm,
2022 they were loaded. This year, and I think that that's where they're at. I think they're going to be
yeah.
stacked in 2025. But
So,
the problem
And
is
I
they need
think
to get that
Sony
shit out.
kind of saw that it was going to be dry. Like I'm sure like in 2022, 2021 or whatever, they knew they could see the lineup like okay, COVID happened. This is the plans for these coming up years. We realize that we're probably going to end up being dry in like 2022, 23, 24, somewhere around that time.
They plan
So
ahead.
they
They got
made
second party
sure
games to fill in the gaps.
exactly, Nelson, exactly. So they made
Exactly
sure
what
like
Xbox
we're going to
don't do.
be dry in first party, so we need to have something for our community and our console owners. We need to have so that I think that's why they made these deals for Rise of the Ronin, for Helldivers, and then when Stella came, available, they showed that off, but then they lost funding for whatever reason, and so PlayStation was like, okay, that's something
They ran
else
out of money and they were
we
like,
can
dude, we
put
like
exactly,
make
and
that shit
PlayStation
for us.
stepped up and was like, okay, that's perfect. We can add that to our lineup too. And I think they realized that first party was just not going to be there. So that's another thing that like Nelson said that they do really well is they make sure that even if first party isn't there to help, they're going to have something exclusive, something for their players that they feel like you can only play this on your PS5. And that's what PlayStation's really good at. You could look at the other side of the team when Xbox had their kind of dry thing when
Yeah.
Starfield and Redfall got pushed out of 2022, and they literally just had like Pentiment at the end, which was a great game, but a smaller-ish title at the end of the year is definitely not enough for your, for your ecosystem, right? So, and they had nothing else for like a year for anybody else. They were just like scratching their heads, like, well, just wait, Game Pass, right?
My issue with that is this with Xbox. Uh, PlayStation released their entire lineup. Xbox hasn't.
Well, no, but that's the thing that was happening on Twitter the other day, where like Smooth tried to say something, and was basically like, "Well, what are y'all gonna do now? The first party lineup ain't looking too hot." You know what I'm saying? And it's like,
We've
like
been looking at
he
your first party lineup for 4 years.
yeah, exactly. Like he was acting like all the games that came out before just disappeared because we hit 2024. Like,
Yeah, his tweet was he was confused when because the that was right after the sales announcement for PlayStation, how it was like 3-1 versus Xboxes being sold in
mhm.
December, I think. Yeah,
Yeah,
and so he was confused. He was like, I don't understand why the difference is 3-1. PlayStation doesn't have any games, because in the year 2023, what it was like Starfield and Hi-Fi Rush and Forza versus Spider-Man, essentially, for the first parties. And he was like, I don't understand. There's only one game. But I'm just like, again, quantity over or quality over quantity all day.
all day.
And like Nate said, those people buying PS5s are also getting the games that came out the years prior too. They're not just
Yeah, that
getting
shit.
Spider-Man. They're gonna play God of War Ragnarok. They're gonna play Horizon. They're gonna play any other game that they didn't play while they had their PS4, or they just didn't. They wanted to wait until they got their PS5 or whatever. They're gonna play now. So
That
just
shit's
discounting those
eternal. Yeah.
games, yeah. So discounting like the previous games just because only one first party game came out this year is like that's not what people are buying it for. They're buying it for the entire library of games. So
Yeah, so
So
because
for me,
they got into it back and forth on there about that, and it was like you can't discredit the rest of the stuff on the console just because, or third party exclusives or the second party stuff like we were
mhm.
talking about. That's what they keep trying to discredit. And like, don't get me wrong, like PlayStation is still in a very good place as far as that goes, but that's the thing that I said PlayStation needs to fix in the future, and by fix I mean,
roadmap.
well, no, it's not just the roadmap. What I mean by fix, though, is slowly, and we don't know when that is going to be taken away, if it ever get to that point, essentially. But like I said, the reason why I emphasize first party even more for them, and them needing to bring more studios in, is because over time, what's happening is, like I said, even though you don't lose it, uh, some of those, like I said, de facto third party exclusives are gradually being put on the competitor's platform.
Becoming multi-class.
Persona,
Yeah.
Yeah, Persona,
Street Fighter.
Yakuza.
yeah, Street Fighter, like Yakuza, all that stuff. They're slowly losing. So like that was a major push because
Guilty Gear.
obviously, yeah, Sega is huge, right? Yeah, the Guilty Gear stuff, like everything. Like there's a bunch of de facto exclusives that PlayStation had that are no longer, going to be exclusive. They didn't lose them per se as an exclusive, but then, like I said, what does it come down to, right? And I always tell people it's about the difference, right? If you're looking at two cars that are pretty much the same, your neck, they both cost about the same. Your real question is going to be, what does this one do differently? What's going to make the difference in which one I buy, and a lot of times is what does
Which
it
one?
do
Which
that
one
the
got that
other
heated
does not.
seating?
Exactly. It makes a big difference. You know what I mean? So it's like in this case, yeah, that's why their first party has to remain strong. And I mean, yeah, ultimately they could live in a world where they're both strong, both Xbox and PlayStation. But what I'm saying is, if PlayStation wants to maintain the momentum the way that they have, they got to make sure they're securing some of this stuff so they don't get blindsided like what happened with Bethesda. You know what I'm saying? The all of ZeniMax getting bought out, stuff like that. Like they can't let that happen. Like especially to somebody, like I said, like as big as like a Sega is. Like that is monumental. And like again, it doesn't really, I'm talking about people who are exclusively playing on console, because obviously that shit don't matter to me. Microsoft can't stop me from playing shit. But um but that's what I'm saying. Like, they want to make sure they don't lose these things going forward. And it's like, in a world where, third party was always third party, we're seeing obviously a lot of that stuff change hands and, flip things around. And yeah, I think for the most part, and hopefully I'm right on that, that Microsoft's hands are pretty tied after all the shit they've bought. Um, but yeah, that's why I said that's the issue with them depending on that. Like, it's done well for them, but it's like, for the first time ever, like I said, I'm very cautious and very careful when it comes to strategy. Like I said, strategy is like my favorite thing in games. So one of the things I've paid attention to highly is that Microsoft is picking very, very carefully, slowly, at PlayStation's third party exclusive lineup. And like I said, if they ever get it to the point where you're talking it's just one or two, like, that's not going to be good for them. So the only way to truly lock that in is full on first party, where no one else can touch it. So, I mean, maybe they know for sure. Like I said, I don't know what their game plan is or what's going on behind closed doors. You know, PlayStation obviously maintains a very good relationship with a lot of these companies and stuff. I mean, they still have some other ones on the board that are exclusive. But yeah, you definitely don't want to end up in a situation where all of a sudden, now Falcom or something starts showing up on
Oh,
Xbox, and now it's on Game Pass on top of that.
well, we already confirmed that Capcom is never hitting game Xbox, but
Well, yeah,
okay.
thus far, right?
Okay,
Never
I
say
see
never.
what
Wait,
so
what's never
basically
hitting
what you're
Xbox?
saying is
Falcom, so the Trails of Cold Steel series and stuff like that. Trails of Cold
Oh,
Steel,
okay.
Trails in the Sky.
And East.
Yeah, in East. So,
basically
yeah.
you're saying removing exclusivity devalues your platform.
Well, it's devaluing you're losing the
They're losing ground. I
yeah,
get you.
you're losing
But
what you
losing
used to
that
have.
ground
So, like, what,
does
like,
that
Mm-hmm.
one
devalue
of the
your
big
platform?
things. Well, yeah, like Weeb loves Yakuza, right? Before, his only real option, and so does Morgan. They both love Yakuza. Their only option prior
What
was
is Nelson?
PlayStation. Yeah, so there you
Mm-hmm.
go. So, right, so all their prior stuff was PlayStation. Now, going forward in the future, you got to keep in mind, companies play for the long game. There's a saying, right? Whether, whatever you believe in, right? They say, you don't humans don't understand the patience of God, right? Like they're like, oh man, how can you be so patient, right? Humans don't understand, or consumers often don't understand, the patience of companies. Companies are playing 6 years from now already. They're already playing 6 years from now. While we're talking about the hotness that's coming out this year, this and that, these deals were in place years ago. Like, all the stuff, we're seeing the fruits of the labor of things that have already been put in place. That's how far
I
ahead
mean
they
that
got to
makes
think.
sense because you're gonna see the concept before investing in it.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. So right now, we're already seeing Microsoft's strategy in play as they pick away at PlayStation's third party stuff. Now they have Judgment. Now they made sure they secured all the stuff from Capcom goes to them. Capcom was relatively over there, but now all Capcom stuff is guaranteed full multiplat. Now all Sega stuff guaranteed full multiplat. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, Microsoft doesn't need to specifically buy them. They're trying to set themselves up so that that massive first party uh first party studio lineup they got starts to basically be an issue for PlayStation. That's the
Yeah.
danger.
And I also
So
think Game Pass has become a big eye opener for a lot of these third parties as far as like their titles, their titles that have been out for a while, and their legacy titles that
yeah,
they've
they're
kind of
throwing them there. Yeah.
yeah, they've kind of played all they can with PlayStation, and so why not introduce it to a new audience via Xbox, but not just just not just release it on there, but have Microsoft pay us a bag to put the entire collection on there, and it allows them to get more money off of a IP that's been out for years, while
Yep.
also potentially gaining a new fan base, so that hey, We let you have Persona 3 Reload, Persona 5, Persona 4 Golden, all those. But hey, we got a new IP coming out called Metaphor.
And
We don't know.
now,
It
yeah,
hasn't been guaranteed to come to Game Pass. Like so far, it doesn't look like it's going to. But hey, we let you try all those games on Game Pass. Here's another new IP with a similar play style to Persona. Now that you kind of, played those Persona games and you are now a fan, come over here, become a fan of this new IP, buy Metaphor from us day one,
So, I have a
essentially.
question for you then. Why haven't they put Metaphor in Game Pass?
Because why would they?
I
It's a new
mean,
IP.
they took the money for Persona
Like I
Reload,
said, those are older games, Omar. They
but
don't they
they still do numbers even on
Yes, but
PlayStation.
they're years old. They like there's no need to you're trying to gain a fan base that you didn't you didn't have, right? The
Okay,
Xbox community didn't have Persona before. So you have to introduce them to it, and they're not going to pay full price for most of them
okay.
aren't going to pay full price for older games, right?
Metaphor, it's gonna absolutely demolish Xbox with sales, right?
well, I
I didn't
mean,
say that.
yeah, I mean, we'll see,
Yeah.
but we'll see.
So
But
no,
that's the thing, right? So this is the thing.
That's what
but
they're hoping.
Yeah,
That's the
this,
but
play that they're
but
hoping
what
though.
yeah.
I'm trying to go somewhere, but that's not gonna stop Atlas from saying, okay, Persona 6 is gonna be then PlayStation exclusive only.
I mean, it doesn't stop them, but that's what we don't know what those companies are
So
essentially thinking, right? So what you just
yeah,
asked is basically what Yakuza did too, right? They gave them tons and tons and tons of Yakuza, right?
Hmm.
Including the man, who erased his name. They get Ishin.
Apparently 7 was like
and
being
sales
it
were
was a
all on
fluke being
PlayStation,
exclusive to Xbox apparently.
It was. Yeah, that was a
and sales
contracting
were
error.
all on
Hmm.
PlayStation.
Well,
So
yeah,
what do you
but
do
Well,
about it?
it wasn't exclusive, but the next gen patch was
yeah, the next gen
real
version.
Yes.
exclusive for Xbox. Yeah.
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 But
What
yeah,
timed, right? I think it was
it
timed
was it was time because of a
Yeah.
contracting error.
because of a contract fuck up.
Yeah.
Nothing else but a contract fuck up.
But that's what I'm
Which
saying. So now the real question should be, right? And this is what we don't know. What are these companies gonna do if the sales are still trash once they finally put out the game that they finally have to pay for? Because Xbox
Like
fans swear that they pay and they're gonna buy games, but the reality is we always see is seems to be very different.
yeah. I think they'll kind of I think Metaphor is going to be the test for that, or at least for Atlas. Like they're going to, see how the sales are with Xbox, see if Persona and them all them games being on Game Pass kind of help persuade and push sales on Xbox for Metaphor. And I think
I doubt it.
they'll
It's not gonna
course
do.
correct if it doesn't do well. Maybe they'll probably end up putting it on Game Pass like
No,
within the year.
Microsoft is gonna just throw money at them. So here's the thing: what can we as developers? So what I'm trying to say is, one, Game Pass is a new anomaly, right? Because not even PlayStation Plus is doing this. What I mean by that is getting, yes, PlayStation gets a new IP in PlayStation Plus, but most of them are smaller potato games. Like we haven't had a game on the level of um, what had PlayStation Xbox got that was in Game Pass day one, but it's not. Like for example, play Persona 4 Reloaded, like or
Persona
3
3 Reload.
Reloaded. My
Yeah.
bad. How
I don't know. We got Sea of Stars. That was pretty big for me.
how is that? Yeah, see if that is. How is that hitting Game Pass, but PlayStation is
Is
not
missing it.
getting that as well?
Yeah, that's
Like
that's
Well,
a
one
miss.
PlayStation is not going to throw the bag for that.
it, but then to the what point do we say that Game Pass is bad or good? Because while you
Yeah,
have something like
but
that,
you
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 have
you
not
also
something.
have to understand for like a dragon, they actually said that uh, Infinite Wealth is not coming to Game Pass because uh, uh, the man who erased his name was, but they did that on purpose because they explicitly state that because they wanted to sort of wet the taste, with Xbox fans
Yep.
and hoping that they would than buy Infinite Wealth.
Mhm.
I think that's
You
the
think
same
you
reason.
expect them to buy Infinite World? Real talk.
I'm not saying that. Sega's saying that. They li- the,
We're gonna see from the numbers. So this is
no,
why.
no, they said that. It's not about whether we're gonna see. That's what they
Yeah,
said.
No,
That's
no, no,
they
no.
said
I
that
said
it's just
that
not gonna
that
we're gonna
happen.
see. We're
yeah,
gonna
yeah,
see
no,
if
no,
it's gonna improve
but
sales
that's
wise.
and I say that's probably the same reason why they're putting Persona 3 on there because
Yeah,
they're
because they
hoping
ain't
they're
never
gonna
played
buy
it, so they're hoping
Metaphor.
to get people to like it, and they ain't gonna play it. It really don't matter.
But
Yeah,
for
I know,
me,
but that's a strategy. That's why they don't need to put it on PlayStation because they know PlayStation gamers are gonna buy it.
They already know.
yeah. So for
Yeah.
me, it's iffy. Why it's iffy? Because I have here an article uh,
hmm
from Christopher Castello. I haven't seen this article, it's just screenshot. So apparently Microsoft uncouples Game Pass growth from CEO Satya Nadella performance-based pay.
Yeah, he was losing his money. They
So
sucking ass.
if when I hear Game Pass is the future, Game Pass is the future, and then you see something like this, it's like, is Game Pass truly the future?
I mean,
Nope.
clearly not. But like I said, the only real question so far is what are these companies gonna do if they spent all that time cultivating the fan base and it's still not worth the effort. That's what I want to know. So are you going to put in the effort continued when it's PlayStation sales 5-1, like
Yeah, I think it's just they're just gonna do what they always do, which is look at the numbers. It depends on how much they make. Was there a profit there? Did they see any kind of change? Did it raise like their profit levels of revenue? Was it worth production? Like they're gonna evaluate all those numbers, and if it and then probably get back to Xbox or Phil Spencer and be like, all right, we're gonna need all right, for this next game, if you want it, it's going to cost even more because we didn't make up what we did with the last game. So if you want it, it's going to cost you X amount, right?
that's
And
what they
it's going to
should
be
do.
up to Xbox to pay that or not have the game at all. Like again, it's going to be all at the end of the day. It's going to be about the money, like,
Hmm.
and whether or not it's worth the development time for these developers to port the game, the game to Xbox. So
Yeah, so Josh
So
said that they'll abandon Xbox, and I'm like, that's exactly what the hell they should do if they don't get supported. Like, you got to put down a hard line for these people, bro. Like, fuck the excuses and the Twitter nonsense. Like, if I'm putting in the effort to put out, what I'm saying, a product, and I'm not getting the support,
I
appropriate to the
mean,
effort,
Yeah, and
then
third-party sales
I
are
have a
so bad. It's like, why do I have my own
I have a
store where
question.
we fucking buy shit out of there anyways? I can
Um,
yeah.
just sell on other
we
people's store.
we talk, right? But I wish Ghost was here. Like this is the first time I actually wish Ghost was here because he is the
oh,
analyst.
that's rude.
I mean, first time in the sense of I want his expertise.
Yeah, you mean related
Um,
to business.
Yeah.
for
The
business,
like I said, the problem though is you just
no,
don't know how each person is going to react. So
but
his
let me
mentality
explain.
as a CFO isn't the next
It's
person's
different,
mentality
yeah.
as a CFO.
But I wanna ask you that the audience and you guys, w- do we know how much Microsoft is paying developers to put their games in Game Pass versus what they are actually getting sales-wise from PlayStation? Like that should be the core conversation.
I mean,
That
I could tell you right now,
conversation is kind of
PlayStation sales
sorry.
shitting on that. I could tell you that. But they come up
What?
with it. PlayStation shells are
Repeat
shitting on
what you
that.
said.
So I can tell you right now that PlayStation's sales numbers, the revenue is shitting on whatever they're getting paid. But
So then
they
why
come up with a
Because
number.
at the end of the day, it's still a bag.
Yeah,
That's why.
it's still a bad.
It's a lot
so
easier
then why
for
developers keep
Microsoft to say,
doing
hey,
that?
you to put it on
Why
Game Pass because they're like,
What do you mean?
look, I can't sell this shit on that platform, so this is the
One
only
word.
I'm
This
gonna
is
so
the
get from
only
that
One
money I'm
platform.
word.
gonna get.
why
Exactly.
developers keep doing that though then?
Well,
Why not
okay, so
black?
case by case basis,
Because it's the
right?
only money you're gonna get from them.
Yeah, the
If I'm
case is
getting
So why not
$20
blackball?
from Innate and
Why not
$5 from
blackball them?
you, that's still extra $5. I'm gonna take that. Like,
yeah.
Why not blackball them and put that extra time and energy
why
in?
blackball when you could just force Microsoft to pay you an exorbitant amount of money to put it on your platform?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Morgan's original statement was right? And that in a business sense, that's what they should do. If in the future, let's say Metaphor does terrible, right? The next game Microsoft wants on Game Pass, they should charge them the ass for that
Yeah.
fucking game.
And that's what
should
I mean,
happen.
according to the emails and stuff like that, that's what they've been doing.
That's
Like
what it sounds like.
they
A
were
lot
discussing
happening with a lot of these
how
games.
their
But
prices to
but
put
but
things
this
on
is
their platform
Microsoft.
cost so much
They
because
can throw money at them and call it a day.
Yeah, but eventually, see the infinite money thing that they think Microsoft
Yeah.
has is not infinite. They have a budget, so that's why you see all of a sudden,
yeah,
you
you
know,
y'all have to
yeah,
get that out of your
But
head that because
what is
Microsoft is a
your
$1 trillion
budget?
company, that they have this infinite amount of money to spend. Like in order to stay a $1 trillion company, you have to continue to make
I
money, and
got
they're
you.
not gonna pour money into these games if people aren't buying it and pouring back
But
into the Game Pass.
but what is that 70? I think 70 billion or 7 billion. I forgot the number for Activision.
hmm
70.
They put that money and they also bought Bethesda.
Yeah.
Then I'm pretty
That's a
sure
lot of
they're gonna buy
employees too.
more.
People don't think about the overhead. They're like, yeah, our revenues
Yeah.
are gonna go way up. Bills are going up too. A lot.
So
A
at
lot. A
what
lot.
point does that and which is I'm gonna segue to the next
Mm.
topic, which is there is now a rumor that a first Xbox critically acclaimed first party game is hitting the competition.
Or the PlayStation. No, I'm just kidding.
Um 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 real talk, it could be PC, not PC, as Nintendo.
Yeah, that's why people are saying it's Hi-Fi Rush to Nintendo.
Mhm.
Switch, I could see that.
Yeah, I can see
If
that.
It would do
if
better there anyways.
real talk, it would absolutely do because nobody played Hi-Fi Rush on PC on Xbox like
Oh, they tried
that.
it. They just didn't. They didn't get very far.
That
Hey, I did.
You don't count, Weeb. You're a
you
gamer.
my with all due respect to you, you're an nobody.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Because you're not an Xbox fan. That's why not. I'm strictly focusing.
Excuse you.
I'm bantering. There's half banter in it, but half seriousness in it. What I mean by that is the first the people that are day one people, they didn't invest in hi-fi, and it's shown by the by the achievement percentage. When your percentage is so low, you and people start blaming it on what you call it, shadow drop. No, it's not.
Media buyer.
It's on Game Pass. You can try it. The game just didn't appeal to the audience, which is a okay.
It's all
But then you
PlayStation fault.
need mass production. Otherwise, shouldn't a publisher like Bethesda and a studio like Tango get a hit taken by this? That's what I'm trying to say. When do we know if Game Pass is good or bad for the business?
I
Because
mean, if they come out and say it, I guess we're just gonna have to wait.
developers are not
Oh,
gonna say anything. They get blackballed.
I mean,
We
we've seen developers say something. We've
yeah,
seen
we've
developers
definitely
say
Yeah.
seen
shit.
some of them come out for
and then
sure.
they backtrack.
Have they
Web.
backtracked? I haven't seen them.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm gonna have to tell you,
let me
like
say,
Dankton said, you can't take back what you already said.
hmm Too late.
Yeah.
Like,
I
yeah, I
haven't seen
mean,
anybody backtrack though, so
yeah.
you gotta show those receipts, Omar.
Yeah, you can't unsay what you said. Like Like it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen people try to like clarify, like, well, I mean, I
Clarify,
didn't mean
yeah,
to do this, and then, yeah, I'm like,
yeah,
nah,
I've
like
seen that.
we got you, bro. We understand. It's okay.
Yeah,
You don't have to clarify. We understood what you meant. But yeah, I think honestly, I think Game Pass works for some and not for others. I really think it depends on your game and how how popular it is, or how much backing you have, how much excitement people have for it. Like if it's an obscure game that nobody knew about, and because of Game Pass now it's doing numbers, I'm sure for some developers like that's happened for, and that works great for them. And then other developers that go on to see great success and realize, damn, maybe we should have put this in Game Pass because people are loving it.
Yeah, if it's not
And
very
they would
good,
have
it's
bought it.
probably good to go into Game Pass because you get some of your money back. But
Yeah,
if it's a real
like
good game, it's like, oh, we got 5 million from them. It's like,
exactly.
bro, we could have sold 1 million copies and 40 million.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Like look at Baldur's Gate, they they devalued it before it came out, and they weren't really interested, and now then it's one game of the year, and I'm pretty sure after the hype that it got, especially after it released on PlayStation, I'm sure Phil and Xbox, they went over there with the bag and offered, hey, we'll give you this money to put it on Game Pass. And we found out, after they announced after Game of the Year that it was coming to Xbox, they went into detail and was like, no, y'all, we're not going to put this in Game Pass because we feel that our game is worth buying and y'all going to buy it. And that's what it was. Like, people, these developers and these publishers have different values for what they release. So at the end of the day, like I said, it works for some and it doesn't for others. But I think for the vast majority, I don't think Game Pass works for the vast majority of um companies. So yeah.
Mhm. Wait. So Josh says, "I wish I can remove the heart so I can read the full uh sentence." Can I remove here? No,
he
for some
just said
reason.
he says at Morgan Comes, are you saying Phil can't identify
Okay,
good
Phil.
games?
Yeah, no, I said it. I
Yeah,
literally said it
Phil,
before.
if he says game's great, I'm fucking, I'm
No,
very
no, no,
sketchy on
no.
that game.
Honestly,
To
Phil's
me,
track record with identifying good games is
It's
not been
fucking
that
dog
good.
shit.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
As soon as he
that
said
motherfucker is batting like 10%.
my most anticipated state of decay, I'm like, that game's fucked.
Like
And
he,
I was right.
he came in and said, the internal reviews for Redfall were like much higher. I'm pretty sure they were
Bruh, this
aiming for
nigga
the
said
80s with that.
Oh, he was
And
90s.
excited
then
for Crackdown. That
yeah,
was
like
fucking.
the power of the cloud. I'm like, I don't. I mean, at the end of the day, Xbox is the platform that he represents, so of course he has to say positive. And you can't be going out and be like, yeah,
Yeah,
it's
but
gonna be some
you pick
dog
out your
shit.
anticipated. Your
But
most anticipated ends up being the biggest piece
yeah,
of dog
yeah.
shit in the
But
library.
again, like I don't know the game. I don't know if it's Phil in particular or just the whoever's in charge of that in Xbox. Like the games they back are just usually not that good, and I'm just like I don't know who's in charge of that, but they need to get somebody else to do that because it's usually some games that I like. I'll try a game like I'm never one to be like I'm gonna look at it and be like, yeah, that game's just trash. Like I'm gonna
I
try it, but usually it just does not click well with me. Like I don't know. Xbox just has not done a good job with backing games.
the the biggest issue that Xbox have, and people are gonna hate me for it, is Phil Spencer. Phil Spencer, not only vision but mentality is what's bad for Xbox. What I mean by that is, yes, Game Pass, people can talk about it, good, bad. I don't care. What I care is when he do an interview and says, I want Crackdown 3 to be on the same level as Halo, Gears, and Forza. And then he released it in that state. What I talk about is when there is not rumors, almost like confirmation, that Phil Spencer wanted to release Halo the way they revealed it. He didn't want it to be delayed. If not for the game memes and the everything in between, Craig, Halo would have been released the way it did. It was revealed.
Yeah.
And and that's my biggest mentality. My biggest issue with them. This is not a new IP that you can bank on to fail or not. This is not some game. This is Halo, your flagship title. And this is how you treat it? This
Yeah. I
is
mean, from
how
what I'm
you show
hearing
respect to
now,
it?
Halo's in a
That's
much
my
better
biggest
state.
issue.
Yeah.
Like it's doing well. People are enjoying it, but Xbox has a tendency to release games in like a questionable state. I mean, I like once again, and it's always, I don't want us to be rude, but it just seems that they always put themselves in this position where they have to, they like where they're rushing out games because they have nothing to release. Like they don't have anything,
Even
so
like
they're
Sea
trying
of
to
Thieves,
hurry
people
up.
like that game now, but that game was like 4 hours had fucking no
Yeah,
content in it whatsoever, and
yeah.
like it'll be good in 3-4
They keep doing it. They keep like putting themselves in a position where this one game, right? This one
We'll
game
fix
is
it
going to be the
later.
defining thing, right? Like with Redfall or with Halo, like it's because they didn't have anything to release really in 2021, but besides what was it, Forza. But Forza, people play that for like 5 minutes and turn that thing off for most of the people. So the big flagship title was Halo. They didn't have anything at launch, so this was like the big game. Finally, like, oh man, I'm on my Series X. I can finally, play a first party game on it.
Yeah.
And I felt that they did, once again, they felt the pressure because they didn't have anything, so they felt the need to rush this Halo out, and it was
We're
just
gonna
not
release
in a
that the year
state.
before until fans saw the video and they were like, "Gotta be fucking
Yeah,
kidding me."
yeah, they saw the
They
video,
were
they
just,
saw
they were,
Craig,
bro. I
they
was
saw
I
the
was drinking out of a
graphics.
Halo Infinite double XP can when I was watching that trailer.
People bought Series X's with Master
The
Chief on the
fans
back
had
of
to
the
tell him like,
box.
this is unbelievable. Like this
People were buying Xbox, or Halo
with the
special
Halo on the
edition
box.
consoles, like everything, and it just wasn't ready. It just like they keep doing this where all the pressure is on one game because they don't have anything, and so they have to rush to release it, and it just ends up coming out in a crazy state. And then eventually it gets to the point where, okay, this is the game. Good job. And they want to give kudos, like, good job, Xbox. After like 3 years, you finally got it working the way we wanted it to. And I'm just like, it's great that the game is finally where it needs to be, but we got to get Xbox. We got to tell them to step up. They can't keep releasing games, halfway done, missing features and stuff, and then games like got missing content, and then all of a sudden, now 3 years later, we want to give them praise because it's finally up to par. Like we got
Okay,
to hold them
so
accountable.
when do you guys start giving praise?
When the
When
game
Uh,
releases
good.
good,
When
like
they
when
start putting out a game day
when,
and it
when it's
don't, you
day
gotta
one.
wait 2
I'm
years to
not
play
listen.
it.
I'm not
I
asking
can
for a
think it's
100% perfect game. Like no game releases without any issues, but it can't release to the point where we're able to point out so many defects in the game. Like, oh, it's this and this is missing. Oh, that the
No
quality isn't
60
good.
frames.
Yeah,
Thing don't
stuff
work.
like that. I'm
Online
like,
don't
bro,
work.
what?
Fucking
Bro,
Master Chief Collection was down for like 2 years with no
yeah,
co-op and shit.
Master Chief was a mess. The freaking like basic stuff like freaking Starfield missing a FOV slider in a first person game. Like what do you mean you missing you launched missing an FOV slider? Like what, like that kind of stuff.
what
That's what we
is an
talking about.
SLV slider?
It shows it's like pulls
Field of
back
view.
this, yeah, the field of view. It like pulls back from the screen so you can see more away from the
No
character.
way. It's
Yeah.
missing that?
Yeah, it won't. I mean, it has it now, but that's what I'm saying. Like that was one of the things that was missing at launch, and it's like Bethesda has never missed that kind of stuff. But the one time, and this is what we keep saying, it's so weird that every time somebody seems to be under them, they start messing up. It's like Bethesda was a primary PC first developer, and they've never messed up on stuff like that. Missing super basic features that they know are almost necessary for the configurations of a lot of PCs, because playing in ultra wide 4K, all kinds of configurations, they need that. And it's like that was missing just that super basic feature, and it's like, um, missing DLSS at launch as well. The DLSS implementation destroys FSR in that game. Again, another current day basic feature for PC at this point, and they're missing it. And I'm like, and they want to. That's what I'm saying. But like, it's annoying. It gets annoying to the point. That's where we're like, one good game isn't going to excuse years and years of misses. Like, you got to start showing some consistency, right?
Yeah. And that's the biggest ask for Xbox fans. Like, they're I see them on Twitter and in their podcasts and stuff. And like what they really want from Xbox is consistency. Like, they'll have a good game, and then they'll have like a bad game, and then they'll have like an okay game, and then it's like a couple bad, and then another good game. And it's just like what people want on any platform, right? Regardless whether it's Xbox, PlayStation, or Nintendo, it's just a consistent level of quality. Like, I don't want to be going in this like, damn, this is gonna be one of the bad ones or one of the good ones. Like,
Exactly.
people just want consistent quality. Okay, people are paying too much for these consoles and games and subscription services to be like, wondering or not, whether or not these games are going to turn out the way that the developers and the executives say that these games are going to turn out. Like, what people would just want is for Xbox to just keep the quality bar high, just keep it up there, and don't drop it. They just stay up there.
Yep, I agree.
So look, this at the end of the day, no matter what they do, they get like look where we are at right now. They're literally talking about dropping this generation and focusing on next generation.
Let's hope that. I mean, that's just a rumor, but let's. I hope it's not true. But yeah.
Yeah, I hope not.
And I genuinely would not be surprised if
I wouldn't be either, to be honest.
if they sacrificed what is that game name? Restfall just to get Activision.
Oh, that? Oh, I don't know. No, come on. Developers aren't gonna
I mean, how
jack up their own game.
How do you explain it to be released like that?
I mean,
Especially if
yeah,
they
I
want
mean,
to try to be better.
yeah, like there are just some games that just don't hit, just don't release well. But I don't
Right.
think a studio would purposely sabotage their game so that some executives could get
Yeah.
a
Not per se
uh
sabotage. No, I didn't say sabotage. I just said released it the way it was, which is
that's sabotage.
finished.
What are you talking about?
No, because they released it because their shareholders demanded that they had to release something that year. So
Yeah.
they just
Mm.
and they probably saw that that game was not, because the problem with Redfall is that it fundamentally is not a good game. So they
Exactly.
realized that's not,
Yeah, it's
no
not.
matter
It's not
how
fundamental.
how
I
much
know.
time we spend on it, it's
Mhm.
gonna fail. So just release it as is. Then you at least have released a game at that in that year.
Mhm. Yeah, because people thought
Feedback.
it was gonna get fixed with the 60 FPS. I'm like, the frame rate was that game's least problem. Okay,
Oh yeah, the
it's just not. It's
AI,
just not a
enemy
fun game.
AI. That's the
Yeah,
biggest problem.
yeah. The AI was very stupid.
Okay. Um. So roadmap. At the end of the day, we covered that. Quick, very quick. Another studio uh, having to what you call it, lay off, and this one from the studio behind surg- surgical um, something something.
That tells you
The name
everything
of
you
a
need to know.
Yeah, what the hell is that?
The fact that you
oh
couldn't even remember the name of the game appropriately,
it
that tells you everything you need
He
to know.
says surgical something something.
it's surgical simulator. So it's like the whole simulator stuff, but it's so far from 19. It's cartoonish. It's nothing like super expensive looking or whatsoever. Um, my thing with this is clearly we see from the leak or the industry is not sustainable, and especially with Um,
Says who?
when, huh? Sorry,
Says says who? It's not sustainable.
that too. Everyone I
You know,
know.
these
Developers been going on a
industry
bit beginning of time. If you
analysts.
don't make good products, you can't. Especially in today's climate, with there's so many goddamn games that come out. If your game ain't no good, I mean, even if it don't cost a lot, you still got to bring in money.
Yeah, I think that's the key that it's being missed. That's the nuance in it, right?
Hmm. Like
If you're
mid.
not good, people are not going to want to play the cost of entry. Like, I mean,
Hmm.
again, another discussion I had with Morgan where we were talking about this when it comes to subscriptions, right? The only subservice neither one of us have ever cut off, despite people talking about them constantly raising the costs, has been Netflix. And the reason is because every time, either we have both admitted, every time we are sitting here and we're like, I want to watch something, if I turn on Netflix, I can find like 15 things I want to watch. I'm
And they
not saying,
always
yeah,
know
yeah,
right when I'm about to cancel, because then they'll be like, this movie or this TV series is coming back. I'm like, oh, I
yep,
can't,
every
I
time.
can't cancel. I'm like, damn it. Like they just released the Arcane trailer, like that's coming later this year and stuff. I'm just like, damn.
Yeah,
Now I can't cancel this shit. But yeah, that's the thing. It's I think, yeah, what the main picture of what people are floating around, they're acting like it's all AAA games that are about to like just go bust. But the thing is, no, the good ones, the ones that are quality are gonna be fine. It's the ones that we're at a point right now where we in the industry, in the gaming industry, where like mid to bad games are gonna fall by the wayside, right?
exactly.
They're gonna be the
So
ones
what do you do about
where
it then? What do you do about it?
shit, don't make it be a
Make good
game. I don't know.
games.
Yeah, make a
Don't make
good
them be
game.
a game.
No,
Yeah,
because like a game like the game that we was playing, Immortal of Elysium,
Avium.
Elysium. Thank you. What would you rate it out of 10?
Uh, in the 70s, I guess.
Okay, 70, 70, 70. 70, that's still good.
Yeah,
Like
it was a pretty good game.
that's not 60, that's not
I'm
50.
I'm
But
gonna
that's
tell
what I'm
you.
saying.
Yeah,
Pretty good at this point. Like it's good is not enough
it's not
anymore.
enough.
There's
Yeah,
Like
too many
that
damn
used to
games out
be
there
It's
enough,
really
Yeah,
not
to be
enough
okay.
especially with
cause
$70 price tags attached to everything now. You can't just release a okay or good game with that with something costing that much.
here's the thing. Like people are always running with these narratives. Like, okay, a studio closed down, so suddenly the gaming industry is not sustainable. But they
Mhm.
just close down all the time. I mean, this has happened since gaming started. So
yeah, they do.
we're we if you
Yeah,
want
a
to
lot of my
convince
favorite
me that
studios have closed over the course
but
of history.
yeah, but
but
if
this
you want to convince me that gaming is the gaming industry is in trouble, is unsustainable, then show me the fucking data. Show me that
but
now
look,
more studios than ever are closing down. Show me that games are failing more than they ever did. That show me that the market is shrinking. Because if you can't show me that data, then you're just talking out your ass.
look, Immortal of Avium studio layoff. Nearly half of staff weeks after release.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So what?
Yeah, because it wasn't that good.
yeah. What? Yeah, I was gonna say it
I
wasn't that good.
mean,
People
the
weren't
game
buying
was
the
fun,
game.
In a
but the
stacked
thing is,
year
like,
too, there was no room. Same thing with Atlas Fallen. I mean, when you got 3 games out in the same month and you're the low man on the totem pole, ain't nobody buying your shit.
Yep.
Yeah, same with that Dead Space game or that Dead Space spin-off game. What was it called?
A Callisto Protocol.
Yes, Callisto Protocol. I
yeah.
mean, they ended up closing down too. Like people weren't buying because it just didn't click. People were hyped about it, but then the game came
And
out and it
that
was just like,
game
it's
was
okay.
also sitting. That game was also sitting on 70. Not go
Yeah.
too far. There is now rumors that even the remake of Dead Space didn't make enough money.
Well, I mean,
Which is
we are
insane
talking
because
about
it
EA
sold more
though.
than Starfield and
Which
shit like that. So that
shocked,
don't make no sense.
Yeah, EA
which
just a greedy
shocked me
bitch.
because
EA's just a
that
greedy
game
bitch.
is.
Yeah,
That game's like the top 10 selling game of the year.
it was
It's
one of
the
the
same
For a
with
remake.
highest selling games. Yeah.
It sold more than Starfield did,
That's
and
how
that
they
was a
got those
massive success. So
Square
so
Enix
what?
aspirations. Like
Hmm.
so
expecting way too much from the game.
Yeah.
so are developers publishers expecting or shareholders, are they expecting to way too much?
I mean, shareholders are always expecting way too much,
Yeah,
to
I
be
mean they
honest.
And because
yeah.
there's, remember, there is also lack of talent. Talent, eh? There is not enough developers out there.
Well, everybody that's a developer can't develop on everything. So like
Yeah,
some people are like an
I think there's
Unreal
a lack of quality
specialist.
developers. Plenty of
the
developers.
the problem is that they want all these high experienced developers, but they're not giving a chance to like the new, people who have just come into the industry because they want somebody with like 8 years experience to do like entry level work,
Yeah.
like with every damn field. That's
Yeah,
that's
like
the
every
problem.
field.
There's plenty
Yeah.
of low level developers, but what they want is, hey, we need a manager, or we need a veteran this, or we need this somebody who's gonna do this and this and this and this and this and this. But it's entry level though. But you can't be entry level. You have to have at least 8 to 9 to 10 years experience. that's the problem. That's like there's plenty of people who could develop. It's just what they're asking for is, rare. Like not everybody out here is going to have that level of experience. And it's like in order to get people to that level, you have to hire people and train them to so that they can get that experience. But nobody wants to do that. But yeah, that's what the real issue is. There's developers out there. It's just hard for them to find work because nobody wants an entry level person.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean
Uh,
there's a lot of nuance to it and each thing, but I mean, like I said, I could have played them. Let me explain the problem number one. If I can play your game for free and I still don't want to play it, then you got a problem. Like that's what I mean. I mean, and it's something like I may typically be interested in. Like that's
what
when
did
you
you
have an
say?
issue.
If you can play your game for free?
If I can play your video game for free and I still don't want to play it, then you have a
Oh,
problem.
yeah. I asked you a few games about other games, and you said not even if it's free, I will play it. Okay, I
Yeah,
see.
because free is not really free. Because free is monetarily free, but it still
Best
costs
of my
me
time.
my time.
Hmm.
Exactly. I can't get that back. I can't work for more of that. I can't buy no more of that. So again, that's something that a lot of people underestimate the value of is your time. And it's like I if like we were saying, if there's 30 games releasing in February, my time and my money are both limited.
Hmm.
So if I'm picking up two games, you best believe it's going to be two of the top games that month.
Yeah, I just think people are just kind of looking at all of, like it's like every week we see news of like a studio closing or layoffs, or this game didn't make this much money, so they're not going to do a sequel or they're going to do something else. I think it's just a culmination of just seeing all of that news, and people are just like, oh man, the industry is in trouble.
Well,
But
we're also
again, it's
hyper
just,
focused on it too, so
yeah, yeah.
they're looking for it now.
Yeah, so exactly. They're looking because that brings the clicks and that drives the attention to the articles. Like, hey, this other studio is closing, but it's just at the end of the day, like again, the cost of making these games are getting higher. The cost to buy, cost to entry is getting higher, right? With $70, and then a lot of people don't even buy the base game; they buy like the Ultimate Edition or
Yep.
Special Edition, and that's like $80 or $90. And people are just like, the higher it becomes, the more people aren't willing to pay the entry fee for something that they don't know if it's going to pan out, or something that's just considered okay. Like I don't know if I'm spending $70 on just an okay game that's gonna not be worth the price of entry, and two, just be
Yeah, let
just
me pick that up for
waste
20
of my
bucks
time. Yeah.
Exactly.
And by the time it's
later.
like 20, that's past the time that they needed to make a certain profit, and they're like, oh, it didn't do well. And I'm just like, yeah, because once again, you got to make, like, for these prices that you're asking, you got to be making you got to make some good, you got to make a Spider-Man, okay? You got to make a God of War, a Horizon. I'm not saying everything's got to be like AAA blockbustery, but you have to make a great game if you want to charge somebody full fucking price for that. Like, you got to be something. You got to do a Yakuza. You got to do something good that's going to get people in the door. Because
Yep.
uh, releasing okay and mid and below is the thing that's killing these studios, because nobody's paying those high prices, and nobody's coming to play those games for that price, and they're not making back what they put in these games. They're spending multiple millions of dollars on these games, and they're not making the profit back. So something's got to give. Like you got to either lower the funding for this game. Like it can't be this $100 million or $50 million game or whatever you spent, or you got to lower the entry fee, right? It's got to be like a $50 game or a $60 game or something like that. Like that's what these publishers need to be figuring out. But they all want to move to 70 because the big boys move to 70. But it's like some of y'all ain't big boys. Y'all need to keep y'all butt over here at
Exactly.
60.
Yeah. It's
Um,
so many factors though. Like I said, release window, pricing, the
Because of the
general
internet, you hear
quality.
studios have been closing since the dawn. Lots of them. Lots of them.
Mhm.
Look at like the PlayStation 1, there was 4,000 some games on there. You know how many developers there were
Oh
still
yeah,
around?
so
Probably
I have a
1 to 3%.
yeah.
I have a question. Why? And maybe they have done it, but I don't know about it. Why haven't PlayStation created a PlayStation Let's Say Developer Academy, for example?
I mean, they
Uh,
do have
Yeah,
stuff like that.
they have something
yeah,
like that.
yeah,
Yeah, they
yeah.
do.
Okay.
They assist people. There's one specifically I know, like in the UK or something, where they work with they work with not only college students and stuff, but general people who just wanted to learn about development and stuff. And it's like you said, it's like an academy where it's like like a technical school where they go through, they work, they basically teach you on the go, like put you in teams, teach you each part of development. You see where you want to go, and then they put the teams together. Like it's a whole thing. I seen it a while back.
Perfect
So
little factory, and then put
I
them right in the
see.
PlayStation Studios. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
crazy.
I think they have it in the US too.
Yeah. I think in California or something. But yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So I mean, they have it.
I
It's just
see. I apologize.
making games is tough, man. And again, like what's his name? Josh said in the chat earlier. He said, one reason he thinks PlayStation is looking into India and China so much is because the cheaper to develop games there. But besides that,
Yeah, but there's new
is a
talent
lot.
there too.
Well,
There hasn't
that's
been people who.
Hmm.
that's what I was
Compared to
telling
that
him.
time,
Yep,
not we.
You got
untapped
a country
talent.
of a 1
What
point
did you
some
say?
billion people, and
You
yeah,
said,
you got a lot to choose from.
Yep.
and you said what Josh said, but what was besides that?
No. But I was saying I responded to him. Besides that, uh, besides the cost, like the talent. I had typed it to him in chat, but I was waiting for whoever
Hmm.
was speaking to stop. But I was saying, there's a lot of untapped talent there that has never really been shined. We've seen that with a lot of the games with the China Hero Project, India being put on the map, even lots of other places, right?
Korea.
Korea, they're also showing up. There's not only just untapped talent purely in just the game development, but one of the games that y'all went onto, that Sword and Fairy shit, all that shit is from manhwa, like the manhwa and stuff that they've been producing out of like China and Korea for years.
Wait,
Um,
there is a manual for Sword and
no,
Fairy?
no, 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 no. You're missing me. So the
I'm
way
missing it.
that the
Yeah.
way that that game is structured, a lot of that like cultivation and
Yeah,
the wind and
Miriam
yeah,
development. Yeah,
Miriam and stuff. Yeah, all that's from like China,
yeah.
between China and Korea. That's all the stuff that's in those manhwa, and I forget how you pronounce the other one, like manha or something. But one is from China and one is from Korea, and they all have those similar things about cultivating and the different gods and all that other stuff. Like a lot of that stuff hasn't been explored. That's why I was so into it.
Yeah.
It was all brand new. So all these stories to be told are also there that have never been told, that have been created from a lot of these really talented authors and stuff. And a lot of them, their stuff got exposed because, you had webtoons, and other stuff. Like, remember, we were talking about some of the stuff isn't all going into video games, but you saw high school, the Gods of High School or whatever it's called. I'm naming it backwards or
God of
something.
High School.
Yeah, God of High School. Like that was a webtoon for the longest time. Like stuff like that and all that, like I said, between Korea and China is a lot of the times solo leveling, right? Is like literally one of my favorites. That's from a writer in Korea or whatever that's huge. And it's like, sadly he was sick and passed away, but that's what I'm saying. Like, again, something like that came from there. So like now that people are seeing all these places, and all the talent and all these different avenues that it's coming from, via online publishing and stuff, now they're seeing like, dang man, we've really been passing up on all this potential in all these other different places, and now they're going there and pursuing these people and giving them a window into the rest of the world. So I think there's just so much talent that we haven't seen. And make no mistake, about talking about the sustainability, make no mistake, a lot of these people, we're hearing the studio shut down, but we're not following a lot of these people's individual careers. Plenty of them are getting jobs, at other dev studios that are hiring. Like, as much as there's a lot of restructuring and stuff, there's still a lot of spots hiring out there. I mean, we all have talked to Deli before, and like
Yeah.
Deli had a new job in like 2.5 weeks. You know what I mean? So like the jobs are out there. It's just, you just got to move around and move to the company, because that is the nature of the business of making video games. A lot of times people finish something and they don't particularly stay with a team. Yeah, you get those people that are like, oh, I've been in Insomniac for 20 years. Yeah, you're lucky, if you got to stick with a studio and the studio was that big, you know.
Yeah, a lot of people want to move up to advanced too, because like, say you work at Insomniac and you're a senior combat specialist or whatever, and someone like Remedy is like, yo, we need a combat director. Like, I can be a director, you know what I mean? In my spot, I ain't gonna make it there till this guy either dies or retires. So
Yep,
you take that position.
absolutely. Yeah. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just complicated. It's not completely unsustainable or not. Like I said, yeah, of course, there's areas where definitely some of these companies could cut back. Like, again, like I know, I'm interested to see what portion of the budget for Spider-Man was marketing, because I know some of the shit they did was not cheap. Like, I
I
mean,
thought they had it
yeah,
on there. I thought it was like 100 million or something like.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, it's
They
always
did a
something.
lot. There
It's
was
always
NFL
commercials.
football and fucking. It was all over bus.
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
everywhere. They had
Times Square. It was fucking. Yeah.
they have
Yeah, but
they had the semi truck hanging
Mhm.
from like the thing, I forget what it's called, the other really famous structure in Paris or whatever.
yeah,
It was,
but it seems like based on the document that it was part of the licensing agreement that they had to spend that amount of money on development, on marketing. So that wasn't that might be a bad example.
well,
So
yeah,
just
I don't mean specifically Spider-Man. I'm just saying, like, some of these things that are exclusively theirs. It's like, man, do you really need like 200
yeah,
million on marketing? Like,
I yeah, I get it. I'm just saying that maybe it's not they need it. It's more like, okay, Disney demanded that as part of the deal that you spend that amount of money on the marketing. So
yeah, I mean,
but
perhaps.
yeah, yeah. So a better comparison would be looking at a game like God of War, where it's not they own the IP. There is no licensing agreement whatsoever. But yeah, you see them doing something similar as well there. So
Yeah.
but yeah, it yeah. The thing is, like, there's this rule, of course, that proportionate to what you spend on marketing. Like if you want to reach a certain sales target, you need to spend a certain percentage of your budget on marketing, right? So the more you spend it, the more sales you're gonna get. So that's sort of the sort of traditional way of looking at it. Of course, things change with viral marketing and the way we're doing things right now, online, etc. But yeah, like you do need exposure, like games like that are that like new IPs, smaller or game that's in smaller games, but games that fail often fail also because they're poorly marketed, right? If nobody knows the game is like we know of these games, but like if the general audience doesn't know this game is coming, if you're not advertising it and it's not something that has a built-in audience, then yeah, there's a chance to no matter how good the game is and how much money you spend on developing the game is going to fail. So certainly you need to be aware that you need to spend an amount of money. It's the same with movies, etc. They also have yeah, it's a necessary part of that to make sure that you meet your sales targets so that you can at least make your money back.
Oh no, no, no. I mean, I agree. Like I get what they're doing. I'm saying how much. What my question is, how much of it could be cut and still get the same result? Like, have they even tested it? I mean, because like I remember specifically seeing the craziest shit I had seen, which was Halo. Halo's budget was 500 million, but apparently 250 million of that was marketing. And I'm like,
Yeah,
where?
that's insane. Yeah, yeah.
Bro, it was on everything. There was commercials,
Oh
blocks. It
yeah,
was
yeah.
on monsters. It was on fucking gummies. It was on.
They put it on literally everything. Like I'm not
So
saying,
it's still on.
yeah.
It's still on trolleys. That shit game been out for 3 years.
Yeah, but I was like, damn, 250 million. I was like, did that what like? But my question is like, what? Where is like the ceiling for marketing push through? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's weird for me that everything has like a measurement, but like marketing doesn't really seem to be like how much is marketing gonna do if your game's ass anyway? It doesn't matter if you put it in the middle of the floor on Times
So
Square if your game's trash. You know what I mean?
could PlayStation invest so much in marketing?
I mean, my question is just how much. My question is how much can they cut back? Can they cut 50 million? You know what I'm
I
saying?
wish we knew how much it, because when you see the trains, the buses, and everything in between, I'm like, that's all cool and dandy, but couldn't you not that have put that all that money in a new
And
IP
when you
instead
got an
thing?
IP as big as Spider-Man, you gonna flaunt that shit because you're gonna
Yeah,
make
especially
sure,
when it has to reach a certain amount
yeah,
of sales or
it
whatever to
has to
keep the
reach a certain
license.
amount. It's the biggest superhero of all time. That's your IP, your exclusive. You have to put that out there. You have to let people know, like, yeah, we know, but you got to let the casuals know. The casuals who ride the subway, the casuals who are walking around Times Square, the casuals who are walking out in their daily lives and they see the statue and they're like, what is that? Like, there's a reason. They're not just doing it just
Mhm.
for show and flair. There's a reason PlayStation is doing it.
But
Yes, it's
but
a lot of money,
yeah.
but to them, I'm pretty sure it's worth it to get it out there and to make it known that they have that game. But go ahead, we.
Yeah, just for the record, because I see a lot of people also online saying that they need to make a certain sales target to keep the license. That's not exactly what the document said. It said that if they don't meet a certain sales target, then either party is able to cancel the contract, right? So and depending on who like if Insomniac does, they have to pay a penalty fee. If Disney does it or Marvel does it, then they will waive those fees. So, but it's only it doesn't mean they will lose a license. It's just that then either party has the option to opt out because yeah, if the game like costs more to make or the games because it's multiple games cost more to make than they're making, right? Then obviously you don't want to continue developing it, or Disney might not want to continue with it because it might damage the brand or whatever. But it's not that they have to then, or the contract will automatically be canceled because it would be silly. Like if I don't know what the sales like was like 600 million or something.
Just say
Like
six
if you
mil,
make
6 million.
sales, I think, or
Yeah, 600.
Yeah,
It was
so you
it
need
was
to hit
six
yeah,
6 million
yeah.
you need
copies.
to hit 6 million
Yeah,
sales
yeah,
order
yeah.
to see if
Break it. Yeah, okay. But like, suppose they sell like 5,999,099, etc. Like that would let then one unit below the sales
Would be
target. Yeah,
stupid.
you're
The
not
Yeah.
gonna.
penalty would
Yeah,
cost
you're not
more than
gonna
the
cancel
goddamn
it.
extra
Yeah, of course.
marketing.
Yeah,
and
yes.
apparently they're forking a lot of it to Marvel.
Yeah, they pay royalties. It's not that much, except for the bundles. I thought it could go to up to 50%. They had to pay to Marvel, but like the royalties like is a few percent, which is normal. That 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 you have to pay that to the
Hmm.
license holder.
So, anyone have anything else to say about any topic we covered today?
No, I think I'm good. We're about 3.5 hours, so I'm pretty
Yeah,
good.
I
Oh
wanted
damn.
to wrap it up.
Yeah, I know. I
Yeah,
know. We were in it. We were in it. I know. But yeah, side note, really quick, since we're done with that conversation, bro. For a minute, I had to pause because I thought that the B roll went to something else. Real. This is a freaking video game.
What?
This image on screen, I thought it was real life, bro. I was like, wait a minute, what the heck is my B roll on? This is a video game. I was like, that freaked me out for a
Is
second.
this Blue Box Studio
I don't know what the
coming
heck
at
it is,
you?
but bro, it looks so real. I was like,
Let's look.
why does that look real? And then
So,
but it
is
was a
it
game.
VR?
I don't know, but it looked crazy.
Yeah, it might be VR. No, I'm not sure if it's VR or not. That look impressive.
Yeah, it was looking crazy, bro. Like that environmental detail they were working on was crazy.
Oh yeah, by the way, shout out to Spider-Man 2 playable on PC, but without any assets. That shit look crisp.
PC players be putting themselves through the most
Yeah,
just to play a PlayStation game. Jesus Christ.
Hey,
hmm
PC waiting rate. I keep saying it.
that
It's
that
true.
that's your people now, Omar.
Exactly.
Nah, because they keep waiting. With that being said, let's get to the outro. Let's start with the what's called, regular here. Nelson, thank you for coming through. Where people can find you.
Nelson Gaming 12 on Twitter and PlayStation.
Okay, okay. Morgan, shout out to you for coming through. Where people can find you.
Yes, sir. You can find me also on Twitter. All right. At Chill Bandit. 2024, a new era of games. Good luck to everybody who has multiple games to play this year because you're gonna need it. But yeah, thanks for coming.
We shout out to you. Don't forget to watch One Piece new trailer. I mean, new opening. Where people can find you.
You can find me on Twitter as the Weep Sheriff at Infinite Rhizome. Yeah, great show and Other Nation.
Outer Nation.
After donation it is. Um, and Nate, shout out to you. Where people can find you.
Yeah, on Twitter at the real innate. Um, and apparently playing JRPGs till I die.
This dude.
As you should.
I
Playing
don't know
Final
how
Fantasy
you
2.
do it. You complain you don't have time, you have to watch anime, and then you go playing not one, not two, but close to three turn-based JRPG games
Look,
at the
man,
same time.
I got it
I don't
honestly,
know how you
man.
do it. You're crazy.
Yeah,
My battery died, so give me 1 second.
he can't hear. Oh man. So anyway, now that we have no Omar, taking over the show temporarily.
Oh shit, Otter's running. Let's go. Let's go.
Oh man,
Yeah.
it really is like a man. I need like a financial planner for like my video games this year.
I'm just gonna wing it. I'm just gonna spin till I'm broke.
What's really
for
gonna
to kick
piss
out
me
of my
off,
apartment.
all this shit to play through March, and then like people are complaining their games didn't do nothing like April, May, June. It's like y'all stupid.
Oh yeah, like right after. Yeah, it's always silly when they do stuff like that. Yeah, there's just I don't know. There's so much stuff. I don't know.
Get you trying to get your money back, but it's like, dude, if you waited a month, like 50% more, like fuck out of here. You know
Yeah.
that.
That's why
You dropped it into the lines.
that's why
Do well.
that's
Really?
why some stuff is like I'm gonna just wait on that because I'm like realistically this is dropping between this and this and I ain't got the time. So I'm like I'll pick it up, for $40 later or whatever. Like some stuff, like I said, like Eiyuden Chronicles and 100 Heroes, Suikoden 1 and 2 remaster, like those are like I have to have those. So those are must.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
I apologize. Finish what you want to say.
Oh, no,
Sorry
you're
for
good.
stuff.
We were just talking about
Okay.
the rest of the games in 2024 about needing a financial planner.
Yeah. I mean, instead of playing them pen-based, why not invest in cloning machine so you make more money
Pretty much. Oh,
and then you
also,
can play?
you mentioned for Weeb to watch the trailer for that, but also it's about to be a new anime season, and anime is about to go crazy.
Oh
Yeah.
'Cause-
yeah.
My clone would turn on me because I make him go to
Yep.
work while I play games, and he would get pissed and kill me.
I'm
It,
gonna.
it already
I'm,
is a crazy new season for
I was
anime, man.
I
Yep.
was gonna watch more anime, but Mass Effect 2 it is.
There you go. Now you're learning.
So
He's not
yeah,
going
shout out
to
to
do
everyone
either.
that came through. This was a fantastic stream. Hit that like button, share the stream out, and yeah. See you next week.
Peace.
Feel free